say that wasn't exactly ideal. And I called up the president, Macron, good guy, by the way. Donald, we are celebrating our victory over the Germans. Oh, that's wonderful. No, we don't take credit for what we do.
Shout out to everybody in the
Every
building. What's
country
up? What's
I've spoken
up,
to in
y'all?
the last week is celebrating the war but us. Isn't that terrible? But think of it, I'm calling. No, we love France, right? But I think we did a little more to win the war than France did. Do we agree?
Salute.
You know,
What's
I don't
up,
want to
y'all?
be a wise guy. But when Hitler made his speech at the Eiffel Tower, I would say that wasn't exactly ideal. And I called up the president, Macron, good guy, by the way. Donald, we are celebrating our victory.
Miss Fat, I know I'm late. I'm late.
Oh,
I'm here, though. What's up, y'all?
No, we don't take credit for what we do.
Just mean we gonna be
And I
here
said,
a
what
little
the hell?
longer.
Every
What's
country
up,
I've
Break
spoken to in the
59?
last week is celebrating the war but us. Isn't that terrible?
What's up, Yana? What's
think
up,
of
Miss
it, I'm
Fat?
calling. No, we love France, right? But I think we did a little more to win the war than
Well, I
France
look
did.
just
Do we
like
agree?
Trump, don't it?
You know, I don't
Double
want to be
tap
a
that
wise
screen.
guy.
Get them likes up, man. We in the building.
But when Hitler made his speech at the Eiffel Tower, I would say that wasn't exactly ideal. And I called up the president, Macron, good guy, by the way.
What's
Donald,
up, well
we are
informed? We here.
celebrating
What's
our
up,
victory
love, trust God? What's
over the
up?
Germans. Oh, that's wonderful.
Shout out to everybody in the building,
No,
man.
we
I'm
don't
late,
take
but I'm
credit for
here.
what we do. And I said, what the hell? Every country I've spoken to in the last week is celebrating the war but us. Isn't that terrible?
Salute to
think of it,
everybody
I'm
in the
calling.
building, man. Double
No,
tap that
we love
screen. Get the
France, right?
likes up.
But I think we did a little more to win the war than France did. Do we agree? You know, I don't want to be a wise guy.
They is out here
But when
acting a
Hitler made his
fool.
speech at the Eiffel Tower, I would say that wasn't exactly ideal. And I called up the president,
Shout out to
Macron, good
everybody
guy,
in the
by the
building.
way.
What's up?
Donald, we are celebrating our victory over the Germans. Oh, that's wonderful. No, we don't take credit for what we do. And I said, what the hell? Every country I've
Man,
spoken
that
to
look
in the
just
last
like
week is
Trump,
celebrating
man.
the war
Double
but
tap
us.
that
Isn't
screen,
that
man. We
terrible?
2 minutes in. Shout out to all of y'all.
But think
What's
of it,
up?
I'm calling. No, we love France, right? But I think we did a little more to win the war than France did. Do we agree?
What's
You
up,
know, I don't
Diamond?
want to be a wise guy. But when Hitler made his speech at the Eiffel Tower,
Belinda,
I would
what's up?
say
What's
that
up,
wasn't
Belinda?
exactly ideal.
Miss Pooh Bear, what's up?
And I called up the president, Macron, good guy, by the way. Donald, we are celebrating our victory over the Germans. Oh,
Shout
that's
out to
wonderful.
everybody in the building.
No, we don't take credit for what we do.
Somebody trying to be
And I
my
said, what the
friend.
hell? Every country I've spoken to in the last week is celebrating the war but us. Isn't that terrible? But think of it, I'm calling. No, we love France, right?
Shout out to
But I
y'all,
think
man.
we did a little more to win the war than France did. Do we agree? You know, I don't want to be a wise guy.
What's up, Ray
But when Hitler made
Flores?
his speech at the Eiffel Tower, I would say that wasn't exactly ideal. And I called up the president, Macron, good guy, by the way. Donald, we
So
are
he called up the
celebrating our victory
president.
over the Germans. Oh, that's wonderful. No, we don't take
Hey,
credit
man.
for what we do. And I said, what?
Did y'all know that Diddy tried to have all testimonies thrown out today, man? No cap. Diddy's defense team tried to throw out every testimony that has been spoken thus far, man. You know what I'm saying? They tried to get the judge to throw out all the testimonies. I said, wow.
What the hell? Every country I've spoken to in the last week is celebrating the war but us. Isn't that terrible? But think of it, I'm calling. No, we love France, right?
That's crazy,
But I think
y'all.
we did a little more to
What's
win the
up,
war
Miss
than France
Fat?
did. Do we agree? You know, I
Matt,
don't want
what's
to be
the
a
deal?
wise guy. But when Hitler made his speech at the Eiffel Tower, I would say that wasn't exactly ideal.
Boy, I promise
And I
it look
called
just
up
like
the
Trump.
president, Macron, good guy, by the way. Donald, we are celebrating
Belinda,
our
what's
victory
up? What's up?
over the Germans. Oh, that's
Y'all know we
wonderful.
just getting started, man. I'm
No,
just
we
letting
don't
it
take
play.
credit for what
What's
we
up?
do.
Shout out to everybody
And
in
I
the
said, what the
building,
hell?
man.
Every country I've spoken to in the last week is celebrating the war but us. Isn't that terrible? And think of it, I'm calling. No, we love France, right? But I think we did a
Let's
little
go.
more to win the war than
Man,
France
P.
did.
Diddy
Do we
team
agree?
better do they.
You know, I don't want to be
Hey,
a
listen,
wise guy.
that's what I heard. They said they better step it up.
But when
They
Hitler
say
made
Diddy
his
team
speech
better
at the
step it
Eiffel
up.
Tower, I would say that wasn't exactly ideal. And I called up the president.
What's up, Bob?
Macron, good guy, by the way. Donald, we are celebrating our victory over the Germans. Oh,
I'm
that's
about
wonderful.
to switch it. Don't get discouraged,
No, we
man.
don't take credit for
We
what
just
we
getting
do.
in, man. We just
And I
getting
said, what
it
the
in.
hell? Every country I've spoken to in the last week is celebrating the war but us. Isn't that terrible? But think of it. I'm calling. No, we love France, right?
Let's
But I
go
think we
down
did
the
a little
little
more to win
just
the war
like
than
him,
France
boy. I'm
did. Do
talking
we
about
agree?
that.
You know, I don't want
I
to be
agree
a
with
wise
IGT.
guy.
This might be one of the most realistic looking ones ever. They
But
look
when
just
Hitler
like
made
Trump.
his speech at the Eiffel Tower, I would say that wasn't exactly ideal. And I called up the
Lord have
president.
mercy. What's up,
Macron,
Great
good guy, by the
59?
way. Donald, we are celebrating our victory over the
I
Germans.
just
Oh,
got
that's
here
wonderful.
too, Diamond. I'm late.
No,
I'm
we don't
late
take
as
credit
you.
for what we do. And
I
said,
just
what the
turned
hell?
it on.
Every
We've been
country
here
I've spoken
6
to in the
minutes.
last week is celebrating the war but us.
What's up,
Isn't
Miss
that
D?
terrible? And think of it. I'm calling. No, we love France, right? But I think we did a little more to win the war than France did. Do we agree? You know, I don't want to be a wise guy.
But yeah, man, Diddy, let's get up out of there, man. Let's go to my page. You know what I'm saying? Let's go over here to Tisa Tales. You know what I'm saying? Where
Diddy
Diddy
wants everybody's testimony thrown out. It's actually really, really shocking, appalling, but actually kind of silly that Diddy wants everybody's money thrown. He wants everybody's testimony thrown out. I'm not joking. He started with Dr. Hughes. Then he wants Cassie's testimony thrown out. Then he wants Kid Cudi's testimony thrown out. Then he wants Capricorn Clark's testimony thrown out. Listen, again, at the end of the day, we actually need to talk about this. A lot of Diddy supporters said they couldn't support the RICO. A lot of people said they couldn't support the crime. A lot of people said it's just domestic violence. But I think Diddy's proven time and time again that he cannot win this case on the facts. So he needs to win it by trial by ambush. Tell me what innocent man that is guilty of a RICO needs everybody's testimony thrown out. Now, let me just be real. It's not going to happen.
Y'all heard it right, man. Diddy team want everybody's testimony thrown out. I told y'all.
Diddy wants everybody's testimony thrown out. It's actually really, really shocking, appalling, but actually kind of silly that Diddy wants everybody's money thrown. He wants everybody's testimony thrown out. I'm not joking. He started with Dr. Hughes. Then he wants Cassie's testimony thrown out. Then he wants Kid Cudi's testimony thrown out. Then he wants Capricorn Clark's testimony thrown out. Listen, again, at the end of the day, we actually need to talk about this. A lot of Diddy supporters said they couldn't support the RICO. A lot of people said they couldn't support the crime. A lot of people said it's just domestic violence. But I think Diddy's proven time and time again that he cannot win this case on the facts. So he needs to win it by trial by ambush. Tell me what innocent man that is guilty
What's
of a
up,
RICO
Danielle?
needs everybody's testimony thrown out. Now, let me just be real. It's not going to happen. Diddy wants everybody's testimony.
Man, listen, y'all. That is one of them YSL moves by Brian Steele, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's get everybody's testimony thrown out.
It's actually really, really shocking, appalling, but actually kind of silly that Diddy wants everybody's money thrown. He wants everybody's testimony thrown out. I'm not joking. He started with Dr. Hughes. Then he wants Cassie's testimony thrown out. Then he wants Kid Cudi's testimony thrown out. Then he wants Capricorn Clark's testimony thrown out. Listen, again, at the end of the day, we actually need to talk about this. A lot of Diddy supporters said they couldn't support the RICO. A lot of people said they couldn't support the crime. A lot of people said it's just domestic violence. But I think Diddy's proven time and time again that he cannot win this case on the facts. So he needs to win it by trial by ambush. Tell me what innocent man that is guilty of a RICO needs everybody's testimony thrown out. Now, let me just be real. It's not going to happen. Diddy wants everybody's testimony thrown out. It's
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? So y'all know that I ain't capping, man. You know what I'm saying? and Diddy tried to get everybody's testimony thrown out of court. One more time.
Actually really
Tell him,
shocking,
Tisa.
appalling, but actually kind of silly that Diddy wants everybody's money thrown, he wants everybody's testimony thrown out. I'm not joking. He started with Dr. Hughes. Then he wants Cassie's testimony thrown out. Then he wants Kid Cudi's testimony thrown out. Then he wants Capricorn Clark's testimony thrown out. Listen, again, at the end of the day, we actually need to talk about this. A lot of Diddy supporters said they couldn't support the RICO. A lot of people said they couldn't support the crime. A lot of people said it's just domestic violence. But I think Diddy's proven time and time again that he cannot win this case on the facts. So he needs to win it by trial by ambush. Tell me what innocent man that is guilty of a RICO needs everybody's testimony thrown out. Now, let me just be real. It's not going to happen. Diddy.
All right, you know what I'm saying? I seen somebody down there say she worse than Gene Deal. But check this out. Man, Smoke No Joke was most definitely on Gene Deal.
As a lawyer yourself, what do you think about the...
Was most definitely on Gene Deal top today, man. I'm talking about all the way on his top. You know what I'm talking about? All right, so shout out to Well Informed for grabbing that membership. We got Angela Yee show, man. You know, formerly of the Breakfast Club. She had a lawyer on today that basically broke down the RICO case, you know, that Diddy is facing, man. Because a lot of people are saying they ain't reaching their burden of proof, man. I'm just saying.
This whole RICO, because people are saying, I don't see the RICO, I don't see the RICO.
Yeah, you know, I think so many people are saying that they don't see it, and
man, what in the world is that, man? What in the old man Steve Urkel is going on here, man? I'm just saying, man, what in the entire world is that back there with them glasses on? That looked like an 80-year-old Steve Urkel. But anyway.
I'm not sure that people understand exactly how much trouble Diddy's in. I spoke myself to about 10 prosecutors that I know, former prosecutors. You know, I was a former lawyer, so I have tons of friends who are former prosecutors. And I asked them, I said, what do you think
I ain't never seen nobody with wrinkles on the top of their head before, but anyway.
about this case? And to a T, every one of them said,
That boy got permanent waves in the top of his
case
head.
is over, for as far as they see, and there's very little chance of Diddy ever coming out of this. Diddy and his...
Boy, it look like you brush your scalp with a wave brush. I'm just saying.
His legal team are trying to get Kid Cudi's testimony kicked out.
Okay.
They're saying that it's irrelevant. They're saying that it's all based on hearsay and speculation, and but most importantly, that there's no evidence that directly links Diddy to the explosion on his car.
This LAPD officer is testifying on what happened, but they're saying as he's being cross-examined, they did not report a gun being involved or that any property was stolen from the home. So we'll see what happens after. You think it's going to get tossed?
I think there's a 50-50 chance that testimony gets tossed.
Oh,
As a
wow,
lawyer yourself, what do you think about this whole
y'all.
RICO? Because people...
Now remember they said that Kid Cudi testimony needs to go. That I told y'all they was trying to get everybody's testimony thrown out, and then basically he confirms one of the names of the people. But Tisa Tell told y'all they trying to get all testimonies thrown out of court.
People are saying, I don't see the RICO, I don't see the RICO.
Yeah, you know, I think so many people are saying that they don't see it, and I'm not sure that people understand exactly how much trouble Diddy's in. I spoke myself to about 10 prosecutors that I know, former prosecutors. You know, I was a former lawyer, so I have tons of friends who are former prosecutors. And I asked them, I said, what do you think about this case? And to a T, every one of them said, Diddy is cooked. This case is over, for as far as they see, and there's very little chance of Diddy ever coming out of this. Diddy and his legal team are trying to get Kid Cudi's testimony kicked out.
Okay.
They're saying that it's irrelevant. They're saying that it's all based on hearsay and speculation, and but most importantly, that there's no evidence that directly links Diddy to the explosion on his car.
This LAPD officer is testifying on what happened, but they're saying as he's being cross-examined, they did not report a gun being involved or that any property was stolen from the home. So we'll see what happens after. You think it's going to get tossed?
I think there's a 50-50 chance that testimony gets tossed.
Yeah, let's get Ugly Man off the screen, y'all. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, that's crazy, man. All right, so like I was telling y'all, there's a lot going on, man. I remember a while back, Monique's son came out on a platform blasting her. He now is apologizing. Let's get to it.
I'm going to start this off by showing my gratitude towards my family.
We gotta
the
go
amount
back here. We gotta go here first.
But to address
This is
the
what he first
Patricia
came out
interview
saying.
that she did, where she states that she prays to the universe in regards to reconciling our relationship, as I stated, is odd. My mother and I both know that that is a very false narrative, and I would like to free her of having to continue telling that lie. Faith without work is dead, and neither one of us cares to put forth any effort to reconcile with the other.
You hear me, Yana? This is what he first said.
We are separate, as she put it, because she doesn't care to be my mother any more than I care to be her son. Neither one of us has had the desire to reach out to the other in a very long time, and I don't think that either of us anticipates that feeling ever returning. Speaking with my mother directly, in my experience, will either lead to some odd newfound moment of clarity in regards to how she was as my mother, or she retreats back to daddy to move forward with a conversation. And I'm tired of hearing my mother's truths. But to address the Club Shisha interview that she did, where she states that she prays to the universe in regards to reconciling our relationship, as I stated, is odd. My mother and I both know that that is a very false narrative, and I would like to free her of having to continue telling that lie.
That's what he was saying at first.
Faith without work is dead, and neither one of us cares to put forth any effort to reconcile with the other. We are separate, as she put it.
All right, so y'all heard what he had to say. Okay, this is what he's saying now. Let's get to it.
Every day. Bottom line, I'm going to start this off by showing
He must need another bag.
my gratitude towards my
And
family.
I ain't talking about a
The
birthday.
amount of patience and grace that they have all shown me, especially during times where I did not deserve it, is appreciated more than I can ever express in words. Making those videos a year ago was a betrayal against our family, and I have to take full accountability for it. Why I made the videos and how I was feeling at the time when I made them is irrelevant. I made them, and I shouldn't have, period. My family did not deserve the backlash that they received from what I said. Having a
Wow.
life's resume with your family
I think she really cut him off, got him singing a different tune now. I'm sorry, mama.
as the one in the family
I appreciate whatever you was giving me.
who simply just can't get right, and then finally doing what you're supposed to be doing, didn't give me the right to feel self-righteous when I felt like they didn't notice. My mother and Sydney were
Lord.
very justified to address my mental health condition at the time. I just simply didn't
Now you got mental health, man. He done wrote it. He sound like he reading from a teleprompter.
like it. Taking accountability can be hard if I allow it to be. I'm going to start this off by I was wrong, and I shouldn't have said any of what I said. I should have just kept my mouth shut and called my mother. Having that family discussion was hard, and it felt like I spiritually got jumped, but at the end of the episode, my family did pick me up and give me a hug. The love my mother has for her family and the way that she loves life is a testament to her husband. It's a very humbling experience.
Man, what's
when little
going
brothers have a
on,
valid
y'all?
reason to want to punch their older brother in the face. But it was my brothers who had the idea for us to have the conversation in person, which would prevent me from running from it. And even after they heard all the I put our mother through, they still gave
Wow.
me a hug, told
Man,
me they
y'all
loved
get the
me,
likes up.
and then we
Double tap
laughed for the
that
rest of the
screen, man. Hit
weekend.
the like button.
Who they are as men and who they are becoming as men is also a testament to the caliber of man Sydney is and has always been since I've known him. My mother once
Wow.
bottom line, I was wrong. Up every day with a smile on her face and nothing but joy to give. And I take full accountability once again for taking that relationship away from my children. Now, watching her take pride in making my son's baby food from scratch, to baking chickpea chocolate chip cookies with my daughter, to being with me the first time my son went underwater in the pool, makes me so happy to have been so wrong before. Life does have a way of showing up for you, even when you don't want it to. Making the decision to go no contact with my family hurt me more than I could have ever imagined.
Man,
Which in
stop it.
turn trickled down to me not being the best man, father, and future husband that I could be for my family. For those that use my words as a way to further a narrative that my mother is difficult to work with, that her husband is controlling, or that she is anything like the character that she portrayed in press.
I need a babysitter sometime. Mama, I need $10 sometime. Yeah, when she take it away from you, you get a different appreciation. You start sounding like this.
Precious. I also apologize to my mother for the things of every day with a smile on her face and nothing but joy. Things that you said about her. If it wasn't for me running my mouth, y'all wouldn't have ran yours. For those that left comments telling me that at the time I should not have been saying what I was saying, I appreciate you for holding me accountable.
Wow!
Whew. I owe it to my family to make this apology.
Man, that didn't
public
even seem
due to
believable.
the fact that I
Boy,
made our
you is
family
reading off
business
a
public.
piece of paper.
Though the road to family redemption is hard, I'm looking forward to it. For those that showed me support at the time but also put up prayers for us to work it out, thank you. Now these are some receipts that I'm very happy to share. Thank you for listening. Things that
What
you
in the
said
world?
about her. If it wasn't for me running my mouth, y'all wouldn't have ran yours.
Listen when he say,
For
it
those
ain't
that
even,
left
it ain't
comments
even
telling me that at the
believable.
time I should not have been saying what I was saying, I appreciate you for holding me accountable. Whew. I owe it to my family to make
Tammy, he most definitely needs some money. He talked all that big mess at first, got cut off. Now he over here reading from a teleprompter.
this apology public due to the fact that I made our family business public. Though the road to family redemption is hard, I'm looking forward to it. For those that showed me support at the time but also put up prayers for us to work it out, thank you. Now these are some receipts that I'm very happy to share. Thank you for listening. Things that
Man, if he don't get off the gas, man, you know what I'm saying? Monique, please help your son. He out here begging. I'm just saying, he talked all that big trash about you not too long ago, and now he over here begging, man. Oh, mama, I know, mama, I'm sorry, mama, please, I need a bag. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's all that boiled down to. Check this out. They said that Gene Deal beat somebody up at court today, man. That's just what they said. Check this out.
Patriots, Secret Service Sam here, just stepping out of the court building for a moment. We had a 10-minute recess. Here is something that not a lot of people are talking about. Gene Deal was here at the court building. I interviewed him in the elevator, and then shortly after that, he got into an altercation with a YouTuber, a friend of mine now who I know, called D-Not. D-Not was harassing him the day before, calling him all these names.
Gene Deal put a big knot on the top of D-Knot head, allegedly. That's what this guy's saying.
On him, Uncle Phil. There's a video you can see, and apparently he punched out and knocked out D-Knot yesterday to the point where they told Gene Deal not to come back for a few days. No arrests were made or anything, but like, I don't know. And I just saw D-Knot a little bit ago trying to get into the main courtroom, and I think he was in the overflow. So I got to go talk to him. Maybe I'll get an interview for you guys, but I just wanted to drop that on you. Gene Deal knocked out YouTuber D-Not, okay? There was an altercation, and like I said, I don't know whose fault it was. No arrests were made, but Gene was asked to take a couple days off from the case. So that's a little drama. I got more coming to you with the arsonist today. Please follow my YouTube. Secret Service Sam out. Samson for president of TikTok.
There you go, right there.
Bro, listen. We out here get content. You're not gonna tell me what to do.
You can't come up on me.
Bro, listen.
If you come up on me, I'm gonna knock you the fuck out.
That's the dude he was talking to.
That's what I said. That's what I said. No, bro, shit. I said I'm a bitch. You gonna misgender me now? Now it's fucking anti-Asian because I'm Asian. So now you harassing me. I am protected by anti-Asian hate.
Go down the road
now you
then.
misgenderizing.
Patriots, Secret Service Sam here, just
So it seems that Gene Deal, you know what I'm saying, got the squabbling at the courthouse, man. You know what I'm saying? According to this guy right here. Wow, man, that's crazy, man. He put, man, but I ain't gonna lie. Choke no joke might be the next fight Gene Deal have. Cause listen, y'all, he put some allegations on Gene Deal back.
Stepping out of the court building for a moment, we had a 10-minute recess. Here is something that not a lot of people are talking about. Gene Deal was here at the court building. I interviewed him in the elevator, and then shortly after that, he got into an altercation
Yana say D not gonna sue him, watch.
with a YouTuber, a friend of mine now who I know, called D Not. D Not was harassing him the day before, calling him all these names, calling him Uncle Phil. There's a video you can see, and apparently he punched out and knocked out D Not yesterday to the point where they told Gene Deal not to come back for a few days. No arrests were made or anything, but like, I don't know. And I just saw D Not a little bit ago trying to get in.
He say he can't do it, but he most definitely did. Y'all make sure y'all double tapping that screen, getting them lights up.
To the main courtroom, and I think he was in the overflow, so I got to go talk to him. Maybe I'll get an interview for you guys, but I just wanted to drop that on you. Gene Deal knocked out YouTuber Did Not, okay? There was an altercation, and like I said, I don't know whose fault it was. No arrests were made, but Gene was asked to take a couple days off from the case, so that's a little drama. I got more coming to you with the arsonist today. Please follow my YouTube. Secret Service Sam out, Samson for president.
That's crazy, y'all. And then here go the footage.
Bro, listen, we out here getting down the content. You're not gonna tell me what to do.
You can't come up on me.
Bro, listen.
If you come up on me, I'ma knock you the fuck out.
That's what I said. That's what I said. That's what I said. No, bro, shit. I said I'm a bitch. You gonna misgender me now? Now it's fucking anti-Asian because I'm Asian. So now you harassing me. I'm protecting.
And this is the YouTuber D Not that Gene Deal allegedly knocked out.
Can't do that. Go down the road then.
Patriot Secret Service saying.
Oh wow, man! But hey, that man, they, you know what I'm saying? That what they saying, man. That what they saying. All right, we got a little bit from Gene. I know I had one with Gene in it. Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Did I not save it? What did I do with it? Where is it? Lord, how much? Here it go.
Prostitution is still against the law. And to pay somebody to come and do it, you are breaking the law. This dude got a 34-count indictment. He got to win all 34 counts, bro.
Break that down for the people that don't understand how that works.
Well, if you lose one, you're going to jail still. See, everybody's looking at the thing, well, it's not a sexual, it's a sexual domestic violence. But what about the gun charges? Cassie said, yo, he had guns in the house. They used to have guns in the safe. This is not just one charge. He got 34 different charges. Kidnapping. When you don't allow somebody to go somewhere when they go, that's kidnapping. He got a host of charges that the prosecution, all they got to do is win one of those charges. Prostitution is still against the law. And to pay somebody to come and do it.
All right, you know what I'm saying? So y'all hear what Gene said, man. Let's get this thing underway, man. Y'all double tap that screen, most definitely get the likes up. We most definitely in the building. Shout out to everybody. This is Everything News. You know, we covering day 12 of the Diddy trial, as well as some of these other things that's going on, you know, because Gene Deal, Choke No Joke is on Gene Deal neck. Y'all think it's a game, man. You know what I'm saying? He basically putting out there that he's saying that Gene Deal is just as guilty as Diddy. You know, basically that Gene Deal should be sitting in a cell right next to Diddy. That's what Choke No Joke said. I can't make that. I'm telling y'all, man. I was like, what? Was telling me stuff I never even heard about when it comes to Gene Deal, man. Talking about like that Gene Deal was sick. He was suck. Or sit that Puffy, you know what I'm saying? Behind some kind of debt, man. No cap over some street stuff, you know, dealing with some Coca-Cola. Man, I'm like, man, what? I ain't never heard of none of this before. But yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? I was blown away. We most definitely gonna have to hear that. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of people that feels like the state just ain't proving their case when it comes to this Diddy situation, man. Like they are basically dropping the ball. It's some people that feel like Diddy's team is not doing what they supposed to do, and they basically dropping the ball. But a large amount of people that I have talked to and that I have seen most definitely feel like the prosecution ain't proving a racketeering situation or none of those other charges that they got. Just like I've been saying. And y'all, some people be thinking I be, you're on Diddy's side. No, I'm not. I'm just telling you what I see. I was surfing today. I found out, you know what I'm saying, that there was people who feel like there's a strong possibility that Diddy could walk, man. Check this out.
Trial will resume tomorrow as a third personal assistant is set to take the stand. Over the first couple of weeks, jury members heard explosive testimony detailing the alleged physical and emotional abuse Combs caused. Let's bring in David Gelman, former prosecutor and a criminal defense attorney. David, welcome.
Hey, Mike, good to be here.
So in week 2 of testimony, jurors heard from a dozen witnesses as prosecutors try to prove sex trafficking and racketeering. What are your expectations when court resumes tomorrow?
It's going to be really interesting tomorrow when Diddy's
Now y'all listen to what this dude right here got to say about whether or not he feels that the prosecution is proving their case.
Third or fourth assistant takes a stand, and she's going to actually corroborate Kid Cudi's testimony from last week, where he said that Diddy and another associate of his bombed his Porsche years ago at his house. Now, you have to have corroboration about that because nobody can put Diddy there. In fact, nobody even can say Diddy's the actual one who did it. But if they can say that Diddy or an associate of his did it, then you may have a racketeering charge there. Because right now, as it stands, Mike, nothing, and I mean nothing, is sticking to Diddy.
Diddy's lawyers are trying to make the case that his escapades do not amount to federal crimes. How difficult is that argument?
I think they're doing a fantastic job, honestly. Look, everybody has said, and Diddy's lawyers even said it in their opening statement, Diddy is not a good guy. There's a lot of domestic violence that occurred between him and Cassie in their relationship. However, what we've heard so far from the testimony of Cassie and the other individuals does not amount to the federal charges that he's being charged with right now.
Did y'all hear that?
Does not amount to the federal charges that he's being charged with right for individuals. Does not amount to
the federal charges he's been charged with. Do y'all agree?
The federal charges that he's being charged with right now. I'm not going to say anything that we heard is very good because it's all horrific. However, the state or the government in this particular instance needs to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he conspired to racketeer, to sex traffic, and to promote prostitution. So far, they're falling way behind in this. And I know there's a lot more to go in this trial because they're saying it's going to be about 8 weeks. But the government really better step on the gas because they don't have a lot more time to go.
So the play seems to be maybe admit to a state crime that avoids prison time. Is that it?
Yeah, I think so.
That's crazy.
Look, again, you're hearing about all this domestic violence, but all that has nothing to do with what Diddy is charged with, domestic violence. But all that has nothing to do with what Diddy is charged with. There's a possibility, and I'm saying a very strong possibility what Diddy is charged with. There's a possibility, and I'm saying a very strong possibility right now that Diddy could walk, that he could be spending 4th of July at home having a barbecue.
Say what?
Walk. That he could be spending 4th of July at home having a barbecue.
Say
he could
what?
Walk. That he could be spending 4th of July at home having a barbecue.
Interesting. David Gelman, thank you very much for your analysis today.
Hey, Sean.
Feels like Diddy could be home by the 4th of July popping fireworks with the kiddos because the state isn't proving their case. That's basically what he said. Now, they like to argue with me when I be saying, man, I don't know, man. I know it's a lot left to go, but from what I done heard so far, it seems like Diddy got a chance to walk. Well, he agree with me. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, he agree with me. Listen to him. Listen to what he said.
All this domestic violence, but all that has nothing to do with what Diddy is charged with. There's a possibility, and I'm saying a very strong possibility right now, that Diddy could walk, that he could be spending 4th of July at home having a barbecue.
Interesting. David Gelman, thank you very much for your analysis today.
Hey, Sean.
All right. Yeah, man. So that's how people. Some people are feeling. It's other people that feel different. We all know that today was day 12 of the Diddy in the Diddy trial. They finished up the asking of questions to the personal assistant, and then they got one of Diddy's other assistants off in there, who was going by the name of Mia. I don't know who Mia is, but, Mia took the stand. They had her face blurred out. Basically, you can't see who she is, but she was working for Diddy, and she says that Diddy took the box from her, and would eat in front of her without her being able to eat, all type of stuff, man. I was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? But hell, remember, there were no pictures of the pew-pew, so that will get thrown out. Anyone could have owned it. Let's go. I'm just saying, I love you as a host, brother. Already, John Smith, what's up, man? Lord, the justice system has went to hell in a handbasket. All right? So today is day 12. They finished up the Nash stylist person, and then they brought in Mia, who they had her face blurred out. We don't know who she is, you know what I'm saying? You have to be in the courtroom in order to know who she is. But y'all know, like I've been doing, we most definitely gonna run it down, man. This is kind of a little bit of what took place at the courthouse today, man. Make sure y'all double tapping that screen. Most definitely get those likes up.
And we should note this show will contain graphic court content from the courtroom today. Testimony started with a cross-examination of celebrity stylist Deontay Nash. He told the jury yesterday that he saw Combs being physically violent toward ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura. When asked by the defense today about whether he knew other men were part of her sexual encounters with Combs.
Remember, I told y'all, basically they wrapped up yesterday's testimony because he didn't get to finish and they didn't get to cross.
Nash testified that Ventura kept part of her life secret from him. A former employee of Combs was next up on the stand. She testified under the pseudonym Mia.
That is a hard, boy, these are some horrible drawings, man. I can't even count. But yeah, man, let them continue, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure y'all double tapping that screen, y'all.
She's one of the 4 alleged victims in this case. Federal prosecutors allege Combs subjected Mia to physical violence, psychological torture, and threats of financial and
physical violence and psychological threats. Wow.
Reputational harm. Today, she testified about being raped by Combs. Asked to describe the relationship between Combs and Ventura, Mia responded, "It was a cycle of highs and lows, unequal."
Now look, I'm telling y'all, they ain't showing her face nowhere. Look, that's Mia right there. Whoever Mia is, they ain't showing her face, y'all. You know what I'm saying? They only saying what she said. They didn't even say her real name in court. They called her Mia, which is a fictitious name. But let's continue.
And equal, toxic, I'd say abusive, like it was abusive towards her. On vacation in Turks and Caicos, Mia recalled Cassie Ventura running and screaming into her hotel room. She was screaming for help and saying, "You gotta help me, he's gonna kill me." Combs has pleaded not guilty to all charges. His defense team says any sexual encounters were consensual. If convicted, Combs faces the possibility of life in prison. Our team has been closely following the case from inside the courtroom. We begin with ABC News Chief Investigative Correspondent Aaron Katursky live outside the federal courthouse here in Manhattan. Aaron, Mia at one point today said that Sean Combs sexually assaulted her. What was that moment like in the courtroom?
This may have been the most harrowing and some of the most consequential testimony.
Man, they said this woman had the whole courtroom in tears, y'all. I'm talking about literally. Double tap that screen, get the likes up, man. Day 12 of the Diddy trial.
The entire trial so far, Eva, the courtroom fell silent. Mia kept her eyes cast down. For most of her testimony, the jury saw nothing but the part in her hair on the top of her head.
Once they get through telling us, y'all, we gonna go straight to the transcripts. We gonna hear exactly what was said.
The jury paid rapt attention. Her friends were sobbing in the back row. They had come to support her. And while she was sobbing and speaking haltingly in stilted speech, she said that Sean Combs sexually assaulted her. He's denied sexually assaulting anyone, but she said it was not just once that it occurred. The first time, she said, was in the Plaza Hotel.
Why did she leave after the first time, man? What's going on, man? It happened again and again and again. Come on, man.
Sean Combs was celebrating his 40th birthday. It was in the penthouse. She said that Sean Combs called her into the kitchen and forced his hand up her dress. And then later in Los Angeles, at his house, she recalled sleeping in a bunk bed.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You know, I don't know if Diddy fired this lady or if she just quit, but she only worked for Diddy for 1 year, guys. All the stuff that she's talking about happened within 1 year.
Where she said Combs forbade anyone from locking doors, and she remembered waking up to the weight of him on her, and he forced himself inside.
Wow, man, this is for educational purposes only. We most definitely are exercising the Fair Use Act of 1976 on all videos. Y'all already know what it is, man. Such a tragic situation, though. Say she was asleep on a bunk bed and woke up to Sean getting his freak on. Lord, have mercy.
By her. It was quiet. Pin drop is a bit of a cliche, Eva, but that was the kind of attention that everyone was paying as she was describing these harrowing moments.
Mia also described Cassie Ventura as like a sister. She said she was around Cassie and Combs a lot. What did she say she saw?
Yeah, and in fact, she said that Sean Combs threatened to tell Cassie about these alleged assaults so she would effectively lose her friends. That was the kind of environment that she was seemingly living in. But she was on vacation, she said, in Turks and Caicos when Cassie Ventura came screaming into her hotel room and saying she's got to help me. She remembered Cassie otherwise being chill and calm, and this she recalled.
John Smith say that's a RICO act by itself.
It's a terrified type scream. She remembered another time where the two of them had to escape from Sean Combs after something happened. They grabbed paddle boards and paddled out to sea to get away from him, leaving him ranting and raving.
Man jumped out on the paddle boat and just paddled out as far as they could into the ocean, y'all. Wow, golly.
And following them on the beach. But Eva, think of this entire scene. She says that as his personal assistant, she was made to sit in the bathroom with him while she's on the toilet, was made to be in his closet, where she said another sexual assault occurred when he forced himself in her mouth. And so she felt like he was the king. She had nowhere to go. She couldn't tell him no about a sandwich.
Yeah, dropping testimony, man. Wow. What's up, sexy toy lady? Long time no see. You know, we appreciate you, girl. You know what I'm saying? Pop out every now and again. We ain't forgot about you.
Testified. She couldn't tell him no about anything.
Did Mia say why she never went to police about any of this?
She talked about it as though she felt like the police weren't going to listen.
So that was 3 times we heard her say basically that Diddy did something he had no business, and she never went to the police, man. Not one time out of 3 of those situations that happened to her.
And she said something that I think the jury paid attention to, and that was, this was before social media. This was before really the Me Too era when anyone had stood up to someone so powerful as Sean Combs. And she recalled this story about being pulled over, and she was nervous about being late to meet Combs, and she told the officer, I'm going to be late for to meet my boss. Well, who's your boss? She said Sean Combs, and the officer laughed at her and said, yeah, right. Put him on the phone. And so she did, and she remembered the demeanor of the officer, laughing. Couldn't believe she was talking to the Sean Combs. And she said it left her feeling like, what police officer could she possibly go to that would believe her account of a sexual assault?
Mia worked for Combs, and during her time with him, she says he suspended her from her job without pay. Why?
Suspended her on a couple of occasions after he accused...
Well, cut her check off, y'all. Diddy suspend her without pay, man. You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't pay her $1.
Her of insubordination, and some of those times she believed it was his behavior that he was reacting to. And specifically, she recalled one time when another employee named Kayla actually...
They said the NYPD was on Diddy's payroll, allegedly. That's what they saying in my chat. All right, let's go.
Went to report her suspicion that Sean Combs was assaulting Cassie Ventura. And she remembered getting into a fight with Kayla, punching, whatever. And this woman wasn't fired for punching Mia. She was fired, Mia said, for reporting to Human Resources of Bad Boy her suspicion that Sean Combs had assaulted Cassie. That was the kind of environment she said she was working in.
Sean Combs.
Boy, I'm telling you, hey, remember, she said that Diddy would starve her and eat right in front of her.
Obviously was sitting there watching everything she had to say today. Did he have any reaction to all of this?
He's been leaning back away from the table, seated more stretched out. And while at the beginning of court he interacted a bit with his family, during this testimony he would shake his head, but he would also turn to the jury box to see how the jury was taking in all of these harrowing details, clearly interested in whether Mia's testimony was cutting through.
Aaron Koczorski for us there outside.
We have no idea who Mia is, y'all. They did not put her face or her real name out. Mia is a fictional name.
Court, thank you as always. And joining us now is ABC News legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer. Brian, you were in court earlier today. What do you think the big moment of the day was?
I think the big moment of the day is when Mia described that alleged rape as Aaron Koczorski put out for it. And now, understand, I'm watching her in the courtroom. We are legally not allowed to describe her features. They're not allowed to have court sketches. But as you
no court sketches. They can't talk about what she really looked like. They got Mia under wraps. Mia must be terrified.
Watch this woman, as Aaron pointed out, looking down for the most part, having her bangs kind of over her head, just painfully describing this incident where she wakes up and she's sobbing in between speaking quickly and also harshly at times, and describes how Sean Combs allegedly took one hand and told her shh, and then allegedly forced himself into her, and having the question asked, what do you mean by that? And then explaining what part of Sean Combs he allegedly did that to her.
That's crazy.
Her, Mia, they're talking, she's one of 4 victims in this case. She also talked about how close she was with Cassie. Why does that relationship matter?
So I think it matters for 2 reasons. One, don't forget, when she first started working, she was Sean Combs' personal assistant. And so it's somewhat weird that, according to her testimony at least, Sean Combs told her to stay with Cassie, to kind of keep tabs on her. And so it, I think in part, feeds this idea of, is this a criminal enterprise where you're having someone keep track of someone that the government is now saying you are sex trafficking and you're keeping in these freak-offs? But also it allows for her to testify about all of these events, the going out into the paddleboard in the water to escape.
Prophet of Truth says, but where is the racketeering and the person in traffic? I don't know, man, but we listening.
Sean Combs, the allegedly putting up furniture in front of a door so he doesn't break in. And of course, the violence that she's testified to that Sean Combs purportedly put onto Cassie, it gives more corroboration and more color to Cassie's testimony.
And we also heard more from Deontay Nash. He finished his testimony today. What did you think of him as a witness?
So Deontay Nash was, for lack of a better term, he was riveting. I think sometimes during his cross-examination, you would probably say somewhat sassy at times. And going back and forth with the defense attorney, I think seeing him for who he truly actually is, I think led to his credibility. And you saw the manner in which he conducted himself, and I think he became very credible in the way he spoke. And so when he was able to talk about light moments where the jury would laugh about, yeah, I set up Cassie with Michael B. Jordan.
All right, so that's Nash right there. You know what I'm saying? That's who we was listening to yesterday.
Because he fine and she fine and they both single. But also when he talked about the harsh moments, you really got pulled in and say, this is a person who has no stake in this, and he seems to be honest in everything.
Hey, and I told y'all he seemed to be, you know, even from when they was reading his testimony, he seemed to be one of them. Look at his walk when he come out the courtroom.
You really got pulled in and say, this is a person who has no stake.
Look at his walk.
But also when he talked about the harsh moments, you really got pulled in and say, this is a person who has no stake in this, and he seems to be honest in everything he says.
Can we talk about?
He most definitely is a diva, guys. He's a diva. You know what I'm saying? And I knew it. You know what I'm saying? I told y'all I could tell just by how they was reading this stuff.
About, yeah, I set up Cassie with Michael B. Jordan because he fine and she fine. And
what is that he got on, man? Is that a dress? is that a dress that he got on, man? Look at that. Is that a dress? I don't know, a skirt, whatever they call it, you know what I'm saying? It's not a regular pair of pants, man. It's not I'm just saying, man, I don't care, you know, his preference. I'm just telling y'all that when they read the transcripts and the way they was reading it, I told y'all the other day, man, this stylist sounds like, you know, he got a little pizzazz. You know what I'm saying? And then he shows up to court in a dress, man. I'm just saying.
They're both single, but also when he talked about the harsh moments, you really got pulled in and say, this is a person who has no stake in this, and he seems to be honest in everything he says.
Can we talk about the judge that's in this trial? What do we know about him?
Yeah, so Judge Arun Subramanian, sorry. He was appointed to be the judge here in 2022 by former President Joe Biden. And we know he's a Columbia law grad, very sharp, very smart. I've never gone before him in court. All I do practice in courtroom. But we do know that prior to being a judge, he was a partner at Sussman Godfrey LLC, where he did commercial.
Somebody said a one-piece skirt, blue jean style. Let's go.
And bankruptcy law. He seems to be very much running a tight ship, always saying, let's get this done at this time, we're going to close it at this time, we're going to make sure the witnesses get off the stand, and he's really pushing this case to end before the July 4th weekend, as he promised the jury.
Brian Buckmeyer, thank you so much. We'll come back to you in just a bit. Coming up, breaking down Mia's testimony and the impact it could have on the trial. Also ahead, there is massive interest in this trial online. When we come back, former Deputy DA and host of the Live Trials podcast, Emily Baker, takes your questions about the case. Stay with us.
Oh, yeah, man. We still light on them likes, man. We need 30 more likes, man. Y'all double tap that screen. Get the likes up. Y'all know y'all got to get the likes rolling, man. Let's go.
Back to burden of proof, the case against Diddy. Breaking down what happened in court for us today, Brian Buckmeyer playing the role of defense and taking on the role of prosecution, Shauna Lloyd, managing partner at the Courtroom firm and ABC News legal contributor. Let's get right into it. Shauna, we'll start with you. Deontay Nash, beginning of the day, what did you think of him?
I thought he was a great witness. If I'm the prosecution, I'm happy with his performance. I'm happy with his testimony. He was clean, concise. He hit home the points that they wanted to highlight. Even when the defense tried to shake him on the idea that Cassie might not have been a good performer or she didn't actually have a future, he was steadfast. He did not let them sway him, and that is exactly what you need in a witness on the stand.
Brian, what do you think the defense wanted the jury to take away from his testimony?
K-roll in the drink, out of line. I'm just saying, man, Lord have mercy.
I think on cross-examination, what they wanted to take away was that he might be somewhat biased to some extent because of how much he loves.
That's the Nash. That's Nash. That's the stylist that was that testified yesterday that didn't get through. We wasn't sure exactly what he looked like, but then today they came with him jumping up out the whip. You know, got on a full skirt. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man. He one of them.
Cassie, platonically, not romantically, but also to try to paint a different side of the relationship. The fact that he set her up with Michael B. Jordan, for example, that she was able to date other people, that her relationship with Sean Combs wasn't so tied off and closed off that she couldn't do the things that she wanted to, and then try to paint a different picture here, a broader picture of a relationship with highs, but some lows as well.
Shauna, we have to talk about Mia. The prosecution called her to the stand. Watching her speak on the stand, what do you think they were trying to accomplish?
I think they accomplished what they were looking for. We have to remember and look at the trial in context, right? So we have this relationship with Cassie that was very messy. The consent was very fluid. People aren't sure. Here's what I did is I just shored up my case because I have a witness on the stand who is clearly testifying in angst. You can tell that she's anxious, she's nervous. She thought she would never, and testified to the fact that she never thought this would come out to the light of day. She talked about the fact that the reason she didn't expect it to come out was because at that time, sexual abuse was something people didn't talk about. Now there's the Me Too movement and other things. She talked about her harrowing experience. At one point in time, she and Cassie runs into her room and says to her, he's gonna kill me. They run out, they're on paddle boards in the—
All right, so they talking about Mia. Once again, they didn't show her face. They didn't have any sketches of her. You know what I'm saying? They basically gave her a false name. She was one of the ones that didn't have to testify or identify her real identity to the public. But they say Diddy know exactly who she is. The reports say she worked for Diddy as a personal assistant. only for 1 year.
Ocean. She says, a storm comes in, and she says on the paddleboard, she has to think about the decision. Is it scarier to face nature, or is it scarier to go back and face Puff? Quote, that to me is impactful. The jury absorbed that to realize if someone's talking about nature versus a person, that's a very powerful statement to say that you believe that he has that much control over you, your career, and where you're going. She talked about this being the job of her dreams. She worked so hard for that. And she said she watched him do so many things that she thought that would disappear in a moment. So that type of testimony is very powerful because you're talking about his personal assistant. This is not someone he was involved with. This was someone who worked for him. She was an employee. She shouldn't be in those situations to have to make those decisions. And that's what she testified to, watching the abuse of Cassie and having to work. Her first week, 5 days straight, she stayed awake. She talked about how her...
Man, listen, she said that Diddy kept her awake for a whole, 4 days, and she had to pop Adderall. She no cap, said she had to pop Adderalls or whatever to stay awake.
Adderall that she was legally
wow.
prescribed for her ADHD assisted her. That's powerful testimony.
Brian, as the defense listening to all this, there's 4 victims in this case. Are you starting to get worried that there's a pattern of behavior that
Beauty Queen said, hold on, don't leave out. She also said she owned half of Revolt with Diddy. Oh, so you saying she a liar? Okay.
we're going to have to deal with?
Yeah, as a defense, you're going to have to try to separate these. And as Shauna was saying, this behavior kind of bleeds over.
Okay,
this is not a relationship like with Cassie, but also there are no allegations of Mia being trafficked. There's no allegations of the criminal enterprise making her participate in freak-off. So I think, again, they have to walk the tightrope of he is a violent person. He is an abusive person, and agree to that and understand that. But I think what ultimately is going to happen is they're going to go back to the indictment, and eventually the judge is going to give them instructions as to how they're supposed to understand these charges, how they're supposed to apply the evidence to it, and then they're going to say, does this match trafficking? Does this match a criminal enterprise? Yes, it's bad. Yes, it's rape. Yes, it's this. But does it match? I think that's the only tightrope to walk.
I'm going to push back on you there, because what Mia did in her testimony when she talked about those 5 days, she talks about how the staff and others said, we're going to see if you can make it. So obviously there's a pervasive idea in this culture, this forced labor. She speaks to that. So I think that's what they were gaining on and with her testimony.
And I think what they're going to do for the defense is she used to work for Mike Myers and used to have a 10 to 6, but working for Mike Myers and working for Sean Combs, two very different things. It's a higher standard of work.
Brian, Shauna, thank you both for being here with us today. Coming up, former Deputy DA and host of the Live Trials podcast, Emily D. Baker.
Yeah, man, that's great.
So far, it's been full of moments that have captivated the internet. So what are the big questions people are asking about this high-profile trial? To help me answer that is legal analyst and former Deputy LA District Attorney Emily D. Baker. She's the host of the Live Trials podcast on YouTube, where she live streams legal commentary on high-profile trials and answers the burning questions people have about cases we're all obsessed with online. Emily, before we get to those questions, I just want to get your thoughts on what happened today. A former Combs employee testifying under the pseudonym Mia. She testified about violent attacks, that he sexually assaulted her while he was her boss. What are your thoughts on her testimony?
We need 17 more likes the fastest, man. What we doing? Click those 3 dots, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're new, man. Day 12 of the Diddy testimony.
Well, for the prosecution, you can see why this is such a powerful witness, because not only does she support a lot of what Cassie said, but it also goes to this criminal enterprise. She's an employee that is not only there seeing what's going on, but testifying that if she didn't comply, then she's being suspended without pay, and the level of coercion and control that was going on. She's a victim of Combs, she's an employee of Combs, but she can also testify to the things she saw happen to Cassie, which supports Cassie's testimony further. And a lot of the witnesses and victims for the government have overlapped in seeing what happened to others who have testified or will testify.
Okay, let's get to the top questions that you're being asked about this trial from your followers. You call them the law nerd community. First up, how does Cassie Ventura's civil lawsuit factor into the criminal prosecution?
Absolutely. I think it was so noticeable when that indictment dropped how much it lined up with Cassie Ventura's civil suit. That civil suit being...
But is this about man? Listen, why can't we keep hearing about Cassie? We need to be hearing about racketeering, coercion, being in traffic. Why we keep on hearing about Diddy's toxic relationship with Cassie? Let me know.
Public really, I think, was a shot across the bow for what might come. And then when we saw the raid of Sean Combs's properties, I think everybody was just waiting for this indictment to drop. I think her civil suit was absolutely instrumental in setting the groundwork for this indictment and ultimately this trial. It also indicated that she's willing to testify. She's willing to come out there publicly and talk about what happened to her. That's incredibly powerful.
And we should note that that civil lawsuit was settled with no admission of wrongdoing. We've been relying for us on a team of reporters that are inside the courtroom for information. And this question I think is really interesting. Why aren't there cameras in the Diddy trial?
It's incredibly frustrating. I was there for the Diddy arraignment and it was a packed courtroom. I can only imagine how packed it is inside and outside the courthouse now. But federal courts do not allow cameras. They do not allow even audio. So everyone has to fight to find a seat in courtrooms. I hope that federal courts will open up and show the public how the process is playing out in these massive trials, because people want to know what's happening, and keeping the public out just creates more problems.
This one is something I think everyone wants to know. Will Diddy testify, or will his lawyers tell him not to?
Now remember, Diddy said, man, he couldn't wait to testify, on his own behalf. When we first started covering this, he said he wanted a speedy trial. That's why we at right now. And that he couldn't wait to testify in his trial. That's what they said. Whether or not he still will do it, we don't know yet. But he most definitely, in the beginning, said he couldn't wait to testify.
To lawyer this first, his lawyers can't stop him from testifying if he wants to testify, even if they think it's a bad idea. And I just wonder, after weeks and weeks of hearing people talk about their experience with Diddy, if he's going to want to set the record straight in his own words, as we've seen so many high-profile defendants do. But I imagine his lawyers, all of them, will be telling him that that cannot be a good thing. But we heard in their opening that they are leaning into these were consensual relationships. And yes, he's violent, but this isn't trafficking. And that's a nuanced legal argument that might go right out the window if he chooses to take the stand, because the lawyers are trying to argue the nuance of the charges, and Diddy testifying is going to be all that the jury focuses on if he does.
Emily D. Baker, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much.
Sean Combs' music career spans decades. He created a hit-making empire with big-name performers, earning a reputation as a savvy music mogul. His accolades over the years include 3 Grammy Awards, 5 #1 hits, 15 top 10 hits on the Billboard charts. He was even honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So, what impact could this trial have on the music industry? ABC News contributor and DJ Megan Wright is here to break it all down for us. Megan, I'm curious, what has the reaction been inside the music industry?
So here's the thing. I haven't really heard, people talk about this more than they already have. I haven't really heard any new names. Okay, so we have 50 Cent, who has always been very, very vocal about this.
Well, 50 stay on Diddy top, man. But speaking of 50, he was spotted at a basketball game wearing a free Diddy t-shirt. 50 just a troll.
On Instagram, he was recently name dropped in the trial from Diddy's former assistant. So of course he's talked about it, and then he is also going to be producing a documentary on it. You have your media personalities that are also in the music business, whether they're radio or podcasting, that are also talking as they were before. I believe Aubrey O'Day from Dan and D Kane, who many people thought was also going to testify. She's standing 10 toes down on her viewpoint on this. You also, after Kid Cudi got on the stand, you have rapper Young Thug, who took to X and called Kid Cudi a snitch. And that got conversations kind of going on social media.
Yeah, Young Thug most definitely did that, called Kid Cudi a rat. for basically telling on Diddy.
About what the definition of a snitch was. But as far as any new names, I haven't seen anything. I have not seen more people step forward and make comments about this.
I'm curious, with the trial going on and all of the things that are out there now, have you heard anyone talk about not playing the music, about maybe don't put that on this playlist or it doesn't get played inside of venues anymore?
So this isn't a new conversation. Okay, so you think about, I guess the big question is, can you separate the art from the person? And what this reminds me of is what kind of happened with the R. Kelly trial, okay? And also something that we know in music and in the business, when there's any kind of controversy or any chaos or things that people are talking about, those streams go up. So as you saw in the R. Kelly trial, his streams went through the roof when that whole thing was happening. Also with Diddy, when he was arrested, streams through the roof. But, I'm not throwing shade at Diddy in any way, shape, or form, but coming from as a DJ, there are a very select few Diddy songs that are solely him that you're really playing. It really falls under his massive Bad Boy catalog. But in that catalog with these artists, whether it's Biggie, whether it's Mary J. Blige, Lil Kim, Usher, you do hear his ad-libs and his vocals, and he's a part of these songs. But are fans going to stop supporting those artists and listening to them? I don't think so.
And are there still Diddy fans? Will people stop? Do you think people will stop listening?
I don't think people will stop listening. Again, I think of history and what we've seen with other artists. Has things changed? Yes. Have people's opinions changed? Yes, absolutely. Is everybody going to stop? No. But then again, Diddy has been in the game for 30 years. So that's 30 years of music. And most of that music is not solely his. So to erase everything that Bad Boy did and take the entire Bad Boy catalog away from fans and listeners, I just don't see that happening.
Whatever happens with this trial, do you think?
Y'all know some Diddy songs. Stop capping. The D, the I, the D, the D, the Y, the D, the I, the D. It's Diddy. Hold up. Can't nobody take my shine. Can't nobody hold me down. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. Come on, man. Stop acting like y'all don't know no Diddy. Stop playing. Diddy most definitely got some out there, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all used to be jamming Diddy back in the day. Stop playing. We ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. Whoa. Then I hit the bottom and it started like, whoa. Yeah, they might not be exactly Diddy's songs, but Diddy was most definitely two-stepping and Harlem shaking and all them videos. Stop the cap. You knew it was a Diddy
work
production.
with him ever again.
I think things have changed. I think there are many that will not. But I think that there are people who have been vocal and who have been supportive of him. And I think that it will make headlines, and people like headlines. So do I think there are some individuals that will work with him? I do. Do I think it's anywhere close to the extent? Absolutely not.
Megan Wright, it's always so lovely to have you.
So good to see you.
Thank you for being with us.
Man, listen, y'all. Boy, I seen people down there talking about, I don't know not one Diddy song. No, they lying. Man, come on, man. If you are in your 40s or 30s, you most definitely know some Diddy songs, man. Stop playing. Stop playing. We all know some Diddy songs. That's like saying you don't know no R. Kelly songs. Man, we all know some R. Kelly and some Diddy songs, man. We didn't know that they was doing all this freak nasty stuff they was doing probably back then, but we most definitely know some of their work. Let's stop the cap. Man, Mahel, talk about it. His stamp on everything, literally. Man, that's what a term, if you don't want your producer two-stepping and all in your video, come to Death Row. Suge said that. Why? Because Diddy was putting out Bad Boy stuff and dancing all in there. All their videos, every one of them. Yeah, stop the cap, man. Y'all know Diddy. All right, shout out to God dang, Jenga 321. Shout out to you for that 10-piece. She say, good morning. Get some baby oil. Get me some baby oil. Me. Just kidding. All right. If you want that baby oil, you put $10 in on it. We'll most definitely snatch you a bottle up and mail it to you. What you do with it? It's up to you. I don't even want to know. Yeah, man, talk about get some baby on. Lord, have mercy, Jesus. All right, so like we always do, man, you know we got to see exactly what was said in court. They basically gave us a synopsis of what happened. But you know me, man, I like to hear it for myself, you know, word by word. So we most definitely finna go listen to what happened within court today, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to it. You know what I'm saying? This is, I didn't mean to do that. This is the actual transcripts from court and what took place today, y'all. Let's go.
Someone calls 911 and it gets sent to next available LAPD unit on duty.
On December 22nd, 2011, what was your shift?
6 a.m. to 6 p.m. in a marked police vehicle.
What do you remember?
Got a call around 8 a.m., code 3 with lights and sirens to 8925.
They got me a label incognito, y'all. You know what I'm saying? This is what she said in court today. Mia, the unknown witness who didn't have to identify herself, only that she was a assistant for Diddy. She said that he forced himself on her 3 or 4 times, made her stay woke for 4-5 days. You know what I'm saying? And starved her and ate food right in front of her. But let's go.
Hollywood Hills Road.
What did you find there?
An Escalade. I memorized the license plate.
Why?
I thought it could be involved in a crime, the way it left as soon as we got there.
Why didn't you go after it?
We didn't have a crime yet. The front door was unlocked. We went in.
What did you see?
High-end watches and purses, some wrapped, some unwrapped. 2 detectives showed up. When we came out, I saw the same black Escalade now driving down the hill.
Then what?
Mr. Muscuddy arrived in a Porsche.
You ran the plate of the Escalade?
Yes, it came back as Bad Boy Records.
No further
I swear
questions.
we heard this.
This was 13 years ago, right?
This might be the wrong
You
one.
read your partner's
Hold on,
report?
man.
It's off cocktail. How did you
Why
think
they
it
got
got
it as
in?
incognito?
Like about the DNA, but that does not appear to be the case. So I'm...
Wasn't able by phone? Tried through a family member? Did you reach her? Never.
Man, hold on real quick. I think I'm tripping, y'all. I swear that sounds like yesterday's. Let me go back over here real quick. Let me see what's going on over here, man. I done grabbed the wrong testimony. Y'all continue to get those likes up, man. You know what I'm saying? While I get back to this. Hold up. Yeah, because they're trying to play your boy, man. This can't be right. Yeah, that's the wrong one. Hold on, I'm finna get to the right one. Okay, hold up. Where my clean sock at? You know what I'm saying? As they call it, man. Hey, is that a sock? Yeah, where my clean sock at? Give me a second, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me pull up the right video, man. You know what I'm saying? Cause this is the wrong one, man. What the hell I do with it? Y'all might win on me today. Hold on. Let me pull up the right video, because that's the testimony from yesterday. I'm listening like, nah, man, that's the same thing I heard yesterday. Hold on. Hold on, let me pull up the right one, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let's get back on track.
2.
No, you don't put that on.
All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, man. Now we right. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to it.
Me. They kept me away from seeing Gina.
Cassie got upset?
She said, why does he keep humiliating me in my career?
All right, so this is Nash, the stylist that had on the blue jeans. You know what I'm saying? And then next is Mia, the one that they didn't give her name. So this is the finishing of Nash's testimony from yesterday, plus the cross-examination, and then Mia's testimony from today in the cross-examination. No, she didn't get through. All right, let's go.
She was upset.
Not really.
You set her up with Michael B. Jordan?
Yes, and Mia drove it home, making sure she had his number.
So a bad boy employee set her up with Michael Jordan.
That's Michael B. Jordan. Don't mess that up.
Do you know Andre Branch?
No.
You were aware Cassie was in a relationship with Andre Branch?
Oh, the cute football player? Yes, but I never met him.
And in 2016, with Brandon of the NFL...
Did y'all hear him say the cute football player? Lord, have mercy. Shout out to Diamond Love for being a member on the sidewalk for 1 month. Shout out to you, Diamond.
I mean NBA, sorry. In these texts, you talk with Cassie about Michael B. Jordan. You say no one better say to me, LY. What is LY?
Love you, or maybe it's a typo. I know everything. I don't remember. I'm sure we were being antagonized by your client.
Cassie was upset by Gina?
She'd say, girl, let's go out and do our thing.
Do what she want to do?
Actually, we are both pretty chill. Stayed in the house a lot, but that would be fair.
Let's read these messages. You do the blue.
Oh, you got some names in here.
Just go ahead.
Where are you going?
Secret trip out town.
Girl. Good friends don't pry. That's not my method. I just replied, girl.
Highlight the green part. Cassie is telling you October 30th, 2013, after the incident with the cut on the face, she says, I've already been turning up too much. You say you saw her with a black eye on FaceTime around the time of the Intercontinental?
I saw it in person. When her makeup would wear off, you could see it.
At this moment, the judge interrupted him and told him, let the defense ask the questions.
You read these. After Cassie says, this N is wasted, we both did the same.
Is there a lot of people there? Oh, it's talking about a Gwen Stefani song.
He said, take your broke ass home and ride into the sunset.
And we did.
Did she mention to you about having thumbs with other men?
Ugh, no, she didn't tell me.
Mr. Nash, read that to yourself, then lift up. On May 10th, 2025, you told the government the videos came from her phone?
No, I told them that he would tape her on her phone.
Isn't it true she said videos were from her phone?
He would record her on her phone. I stand firm on that.
You say, Mr. Combs said, you won't do this one thing for me?
Yes.
You said you saw Mr. Combs pointing in Cassie's face in The Blind Dragon, right? But you never told the government, right? The first you said is at trial.
I guess so. I gave them very little by phone. She said she didn't want to go.
You helped pick her clothes for court?
She couldn't fit anything. She needed clothes.
For the pregnancy?
Right.
On that Friday after she finished, she called you and said, I'm done.
It wasn't like that.
Did you get Cassie super high?
What? No, I did not.
Shout out to that 5. Appreciate you, Diamond Love. You know what it is, man. So basically, this is Nash's. I had to give me something to drink real quick, but this is Nash's statement as far as the rest of his testimony in the cross-examination. If you're just now getting her, make sure you double tapping that screen. Most definitely subscribe to the channel if you new.
At this moment, the judge interrupted him and told him, Mr. Nash.
This 29th birthday, you say she packed toys in her duffel bag from her bedroom, right?
Correct.
Mr. Combs didn't say grab the toys?
They were going
on the golf cart. Let's talk about Las Vegas, New Year's, 2016 to 17. You said you were told Cassie was sleeping all day?
Correct.
Put up DX 1847 for the parties only. What's this?
Cassie?
The low-budget producer you mentioned was there?
Yes, right next to me, snoring.
You say Cassie told you another man was coming over and asked you to leave?
Both of us.
Your reaction was size?
Yes.
You saw a man walking around, knocking on the door, and they let him in?
Yes.
There were not right?
We were doing them in our separate places.
Wow.
Once I start working, I just start going. I was packing my 10 body bags.
Then they went to a hotel and...
Yo, 10 body bags, what?
Again, she didn't tell you she didn't want to go, correct?
Actually, she said she wanted to stay home, work on her music.
Read the green.
Enjoy y'all time together. Y'all don't get much of this.
That's you telling Cassie in January 2017 to enjoy her time with Puff, correct?
Yes.
Cassie wrote, I spoke up for myself, and you wrote you wish you were with them on vacation.
No, I meant in Mexico, not with them.
Cassie wrote, the next room is on the beach, this one on the golf course. I have everything organized.
LOL, do you all have a lot of...
Yes, but we made it all fit.
Girl, you always on vacation?
You stayed in touch with Mr. Combs?
Yeah, because he was cutting up.
Oh, I get it. You did a seafood thing with Cassie?
Correct.
DX1814. You know Kim Porter, who tragically passed?
Yes.
You knew Andre Harrell passed?
Yes.
You texted Mr. Combs to make sure he okay?
Correct.
Mr. Combs wrote to you, the trainer? You could have given me a heads up. Black heart emoji. How is she? He meant Cassie.
Yes.
In 2020, you wrote to Mr. Combs, I love you. Anything you need, I got you.
Yes.
Mr. Combs won an award that year, and you congratulated him.
I don't think so. I asked how to RSVP to his party for someone else, Claire Solmers.
Cassie told you about a secret trip.
At this moment, the prosecution objected, and it was sustained.
You deeply care for Cassie?
Yeah, so that's this guy's, you know what I'm saying, Mr. Sassy Man. You know what I'm saying? This is his testimony that we're listening to right now.
For 15 years?
Yes.
She kept secrets from you.
And I do from her. We don't have to tell each other everything.
Nothing further.
Why were you afraid for her?
Things could get fast.
What devices did Mr. Combs use to film her?
Hers?
You said they appeared high at the 29th birthday party.
Yes.
Was Mr. Combs in control of his actions?
Yes.
And what did you say?
You're going to get some tonight.
Did she want to go?
No.
No further questions.
At this moment, that was the end of Deontay Nash's testimony,
So then
and
we
the next
start with
witness was
today.
called.
How do you wish to be identified?
Mia, M-I-A.
So here go
Don't show
Mia.
this exhibit. What is it?
My passport.
Show it for the jury only.
I would like to see it too.
Where are you from?
Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Who is this?
Sean Combs,
What did you call him?
Puff. I worked for him as personal assistant, then as director of development and acquisitions for Revolt Films.
How was it working there?
Puff's mood changed all the time.
Here's Mia.
Was he violent to you?
Yes, he's thrown things at me. He's thrown me against the wall, into a pool, ice bucket on my head, slammed my arms into a door, and he said,
Now, okay, he threw things at me, not good. He throws me against the wall, not good. Into a pool, y'all was probably horse playing. An ice bucket on my head, that's the ice bucket challenge. Slam my arm into the door, ain't no excuse for that. But anyway,
me.
More than once?
More than once.
Did you want to be in the arts?
Yes, this was before social media. I thought if I put my mattress on my car and drove to New York, I could do it. I went to work for Georgina Chapman, red carpet dressing.
Then?
Assistant to Mike Myers.
How did Mr. Combs hire you?
I met with a recruiter. I met with HR and Tony Baez Fletcher.
Did Mr. Combs interview you?
He at his apartment. He was on the phone wearing his underwear. The HR lady left.
wow.
Did he put on clothes?
Yes.
Did you get the job?
Yes, I was excited.
How much did you expect to work?
What's up with Diddy being in his drawers every time he interview or do a like a conference? Diddy in his drawers on everything. That's just crazy. Diddy on the phone with this woman. She trying to get a job. He talking to her in his drawers.
A lot, but I didn't fully understand.
How much were you paid?
$50,000.
What did you do on your first day?
HR told me I was on trial for 2 weeks.
Where did you start?
His Alpine, New Jersey house. I was there all day.
Then where?
Back to the office for a few hours more. Then I was told Puff wanted me to come to the studio.
How long were you there?
Until 1 p.m. the next day.
Then where did you go?
Puff's apartment, then home.
How fast did you have to return?
I didn't take a nap. I didn't want to risk it.
How much did you sleep during your first 24 hours on the job?
I didn't. I took it as a challenge. There had been a TV show a few years before called...
She said she hadn't slept on her first day at the job, man. She stayed up. Said she took it as a challenge. Diddy said, you want to stay up for 1 day? All right, bet. Let's keep you up for 5. Let's see how much it take till you crash. Lord, have mercy.
I want to work for Diddy. It was like that.
How did you deal with the lack of sleep?
When I was young, I'd tell myself, you can sleep at 3 p.m.
At this moment, the defense objected, but was overruled.
How long did you stay up once?
5 days. I take Adderall extended release. I could
Wow, stayed up for 5 days, y'all.
if I function and stay awake.
When did you go to sleep?
My hearing went and my equilibrium was off. Blurred vision, lights that weren't there. I cried.
Were you then told you could sleep?
Yes.
By whom?
Puff.
Why did you stay awake that long?
I was working.
I am introducing exhibits. These exhibits are under seal.
At this moment, the defense objected, but seems to be overruled.
What is this?
A list of my responsibilities I sent to Tony Baez Fletcher on November 10th, 2011. Puff has said, I don't know what you do all day.
Let's focus on a few things in this document. Please read this, Mia.
All of PD's social media presence.
Who is PD?
Sean Combs, Puff Daddy. I wrote, main liaison between PD and Hollywood.
Did you do that?
Blackberry 24/7. I wrote, anticipate his moods.
Why was that important?
It dictated the day.
You wrote every day.
Man, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I couldn't stay up for no 5 days. I might be able to pull a 24-hour. I can't even stay up for 2 days. I'm just saying, 5 days, I'm pretty sure she was hallucinating. She had to be.
And that he could ask you to crack his knuckles or do his taxes.
Did you have an apartment?
Yes, in NYC.
Were you there much?
No. My roommates joked they lived with a ghost.
In LA? Where did you stay?
In the staff house, then in Puff's house, 9933 Beverly Grove, then 9374 Beverly Crest Drive, then 200 South Mapleton,
In Miami?
2-star.
Could you leave?
Only with Puff's permission. Once I left at 2 a.m. after he was asleep, I got in big trouble.
What happened?
Security called me to say he was sending them to find me. It was at the first LA house, 2009 or 2010.
Were you allowed to lock your bedroom door?
No, he said, it's my house. No one locks my doors in my house.
The real mayhem say, man, she was hallucinating when she made up this story. Lord have mercy.
So it wasn't really my room.
But did security get to lock their doors?
Yes. One had a deadbolt, another a keypad. I was told they were actively hiring other assistants.
How long did Malcolm, the assistant who was there when you started, stay?
7 or 8 months.
Were you the only one then?
Yeah, for like a year.
How did you feel?
I didn't have time to feel. It was insane. Puff gave me a pep talk, like we were a team. He said, I need a second brain.
Did he hire more?
Yes, eventually, but I still felt like I was responsible.
You got punished?
In various ways, getting cursed out, my intelligence insulted, and my job threatened.
Who did those things?
Well, that's, boy, Diddy was an a-hole to these people, man. Hey, man, we got to get these likes up, man. Can we get 150 on the like? Double tap the screen. Get the likes up. We listen to Mia's testimony from today in court. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know it ain't no cameras, so therefore we're going with this version of what was said inside the courtroom based on the transcripts.
Puff.
Who's this?
George Kaplan. He was another personal assistant for Puff, after me.
What was Revolt Films?
Puff and I started it together.
Were you still performing personal assistant duties?
Man, we need to look in to find out who started Revolt with Puff. Then we'll probably find out if that's her or not, unless she made up this whole thing of her and Puff making Revolt, and he didn't do it himself. I'm guessing if you are able to search back and see when Revolt started and who was partners with Diddy, we might find out who Mia is.
Yes.
How much did you get paid?
$70,000, then $100,000. There were supposed to be bonuses.
Did you get them?
No.
Who is this?
Cassie Ventura.
How did you know her?
Working for Puff. We became close friends.
Still today?
Yes.
How was their relationship?
Highs and lows. Unequal.
Was there in their relationship?
Yes.
We'll get back to that. What was Mr. Combs' role with respect to her career?
He decided on everything. Shows, the look.
What is this?
An email from Cass to Puff and others. Me.
When did she send it?
It was 4 a.m. It says 7 a.m. But we were in California. It was one of their hotel nights.
What did she write?
She was canceling, apologizing to Interscope and others.
Did Mr. Combs respond? Please read.
Cass wrote about telling Slevin Hill.
What did she mean, do you think?
Stephen Hill of BET. Cass wrote, no support, no show.
Why did you forward this to Tony Fletcher?
I had to keep her informed. She was in charge of booking hotels.
Did you ever see Mr. Combs on a movie set?
Yes. Everyone would be very nervous. He would insert himself.
What was his role with respect to Cassie's appearance?
He was in charge of it.
They said everybody was scared he would insert himself. Diddy gonna be dancing out in the video of the movie, whatever it is. If it contain anything to do with bad boy artists, you know what I'm saying, or anything to do with bad boy, Diddy gonna be there.
Exposure to Cassie's finances?
Yes.
How?
I learned the company paid her credit cards and that the places where she lived were under his company names and her cars.
Did he take things away?
Yes, cars and jewelry and support. If he couldn't get her on the phone, he'd keep tabs on her through me.
What was part of your job to spend this time with Cassie?
Yes, I had to do whatever Puff told me to do.
Could you go where you wanted?
No, we had to be where Puff told us we could be.
And if not?
Something very scary. The punishment was unpredictable but terrifying.
We'll talk some more about that as we get through your testimony. How would Mr. Combs communicate with Ms. Ventura?
Sometimes through me.
Did you see violence? What kind?
I saw a lot of aftermaths and injuries she had. I've seen him attack her and throw her on the ground. I've seen him, crack her head open. I've seen him chase her.
You didn't call a lot. Another one that didn't call the police, from a burner phone, didn't have somebody else to call them for him. Another one that just watched her get knocked upside the head, man. What is going on, man? Listen, I know y'all say, man, they were scared, this, that, and the third, but I done seen some scary people that were scared to death do some pretty amazing things. Drop notes, in department stores when they walking through them, do hand signals to people to let them know that there's something going on. I mean, just, you know, you could have called somebody. Okay, you from a place, right? You could have called somebody from where you was from and had them to call the laws where you at and tell them about what was going on and tell them where they needed to be at. You know what I'm saying, man? I don't understand, man. This is crazy. Everybody just stood around and nobody didn't do nothing.
Like that.
Did she fight back?
No.
What did you hear and see?
Suitcases being thrown into the foyer.
Did you see Cassie after that?
She was outside, crying in a bush. She looked terrified. She gestured. I'm hiding. I'm not here.
What did you do?
Retreated.
Did you tell anyone?
I think the chef was in the kitchen. The sentiment was like,
At this moment, the defense objected and was sustained.
What did the chef say to you?
At this moment, the defense objected and the prosecution said,
not for the truth.
And it was still sustained.
What happened in Cassie's apartment?
We were there. Me, Cass, and Deontay Nash.
What were you doing?
Helping her pack for a big trip to London. Puff came banging on the door, very irate.
How did he get in?
Key from front desk.
What was Mr. Combs asking Cassie?
He said, have you been drinking or something? She hadn't answered his calls.
What did Mr. Combs do?
He came after me and Deontay screaming, has she been drinking? He was crazy aggressive. He attacked her. He threw her to the ground. Me and Deontay jumped in and tried to stop it.
What did you do?
Deontay is very small in comparison to Puff. There was...
Man, New York is a big place. Y'all act like it's just one police department, man. You know what I'm saying? If you can't call them yourself, have somebody else call them anonymously. Send them to the crib while it's going on, while it's going down. Text their friend. Bloop, 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 like they do text them. Bloop, 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 bloop. Have them to send them over. I'm just saying, it's more than one way to skin a cat.
Was a little tornado going on. He had Deontay in a position where I was scared he was going to kill him. So I jumped on Puff, but he threw me off and against the wall. I felt like I was in slow motion. I realized we were in big danger.
Here go the woman in Lanice talking about it's not that easy. He used fear and made examples of people in front of everybody, and people were outnumbered with his supporters. So you get down or lay down. Yeah, but if you see somebody getting beat down, call the laws and be anonymous.
He ran into the bedroom and grabbed Cass. Under her bed is this wood bed platform. He slammed her head into the corner.
What injuries did Cassie get?
Her head was gushing blood.
What did Mr. Combs do?
He got into protection.
Lanice says, when you have fear of losing your life or family and somebody has money, we all know money make it shake. Absolutely. But the police come with them clink-clinks, you know what I'm saying, to take you to the big house. If somebody call on you and you get caught in the act, you know what I'm saying, ball and say, that be the last call you make before you swim with the fishes. You got to prove I did it. If I have somebody else call, you got to prove I did it. Now, it's a fact. They had burner phones where they wasn't using their regular phones. You know what I'm talking about? So if you got a burner phone, you know it can't be traced back to you. Diddy don't know that's your number, and Diddy won't know that you was the one that had somebody to contact the police to come over there and save Cassie because she's getting, strangled. I'm just saying.
Protector survivor mode. He said to call Dr. So-and-so. Tell them Cass was drunk and hit her head.
Why did you do it?
Puff said to... His eyes were black. It was like he was looking through me. He was like completely...
At this moment, the judge interrupted and said, let's get a next question.
Did you see Mr. Combs take...
Yeah, they may tell you who called. You know what I'm saying? My name is John Glenn. I work for Diddy. But guess what? I'm going to call Glenn John, or Susie from somewhere else and have them call the laws so that their voice is on there and not mine. And you still get the same result you was looking for. The police show up unexpected, catch them right in the act. I'm just saying.
Yes.
When he was high, how did he appear?
Sometimes the life of the party, or hyper.
Where was this?
Ibiza, or Burning Man, or music conferences.
When he smashed her head, did he seem high?
No.
Did you go to Prince's party?
Yes.
What happened the night before?
Big award ceremony. Suite in the Beverly. He told me to stay with Cassie, that he was going to be at his house with his kids. But then I heard about Prince's party.
What did you do?
Cass and
Y'all quit. So y'all are here telling me that you're scared to death. I'm talking about afraid. The boogeyman is gonna come get you. You're not gonna do everything in your power to keep the boogeyman from getting you. If you can get a burner phone, listen, if you can get a burner phone to contact some strange dude you're seeing, you know, that you don't want Puffy to know about, that you're talking to this person. You hear me? You can call a man on the phone, you know, talking about hooking up later on or something like that. But you in there, you know, getting, you know, belly to back suplex, and it never crosses your mind one time to pick up that burner phone and even tell that dude that you talking to, you know, that you trying to meet up with, man, this is going on, that's going on, call the police, you know what I'm saying? Turn it back off, hide it wherever you hide it at, and let the rest play out. By the time the police get there, Diddy can't get to you. Then y'all talk about, well, you know, he had some police working for him. Well, he may have, but all the police didn't work for him. I'm just saying.
and I debated like little kids if we should sneak out of the house and go to Prince's party. Prince performed on a little table. Then I saw Puff come in with his bucket hat. We locked eyes. I thought, oh crap, Cash just booked it.
Where did you go?
Mahel, think about the local D-boy. People be scared. Why they never call on him? Why they never called on them? Man, people don't be, hey, listen, this 2025 and 2020, people is man, listen, I know some nosy D-boys, I know some D-boys got some nosy neighbors, and if 2 or 3 cars pull up, they don't mind calling the laws. They gon' yeah, I seen such and such. Yeah, he got too many cars coming over his house. It's been about 10 cars. Them neighbors be nosy than a mug. They most definitely get all in the business. And don't let my grandma see you. She gonna tell you better get out my yard, because I don't sell it. But I will tell it, because she wasn't scared of nothing. I'm just saying. But man, everybody in the hood ain't scared of the D-boy. Some people most definitely will call the police on it.
Across the street, there were woods or bushes. But Puff caught Cass and had her on the ground. Puff started to attack her, but Prince's security quickly intervened.
And later,
Bowling. But back then, I would have, man, listen, all right, I bet, you know what I'm saying? They were terrified. I bet. They ain't scared now.
Went to another hotel. The next day, HR told me Puff was suspending me without pay.
Did she say why?
That Puff said I was being insubordinate.
Mia, you were speaking about between Mr. Combs and Cassie. Have you traveled to Turks and Caicos?
Okay, beauty queen.
Yes, to Parrot Key, twice. In 2012, me, Puff, and Cass.
What happened?
I was sleeping in my bedroom and I was woken up. Cass ran in saying, "You've got to help me. He's going to kill me."
What did you do?
We started pushing furniture in front of the door to try to block it. Puff was banging and screaming. I had a porch that went out to the beach. We ran.
What do you remember about running?
I remember being amazed that even while running fast, we could be attacked by bugs.
Did you run another time?
I have another visual of where we were hiding, of trying to escape.
Man, can I say this? This is making my head hurt, man. Cause I just sit over here day after day like, man, ain't nobody, and didn't nobody do nothing. Nobody. Nobody didn't do nothing. We got all these Karens in the world, you know, that call the police. We got friends that'll call the police on you for a little bit of nothing. But Diddy done scared y'all in the room. Y'all had to put stuff in front of the door. He outside banging on the door. I'm an animal. Got you terrified. And ain't nobody do nothing. Nobody did nothing besides harbor all these stories in for a good story time over the campfire. Listen, y'all. I listen, man. It ain't that much fear in the world, man, to me. But I'm just a man. You know, I'm on the outside looking in. I don't know. But I'm like, man, listen, man. When you're scared, you're scared. I done seen some scary people do amazing stuff. They always told me that a scary person take you out the game, meaning take you out of life quicker than a bowdy person. And why would they do that to you? Because you backed them in the corner and they were scared. But anyway.
Like 2 separate times. We got onto paddle boards and went out on the water.
Why ain't none of these women get no strap? So when he did it again, it's self-defense. Drastic times calls for drastic measures.
Puff was on the beach screaming at us. It was flat and we went out far. Puff got smaller and smaller on the beach. The sky got dark and...
At this moment, the defense objected but was overruled.
We went back.
Did you ever call police?
No.
Why not?
I believed Puff's authority was above the police. This was before social media and the Near Me Too movement. There were no examples of people standing up. I thought it was under the confidentiality deal with Puff's business.
What's this?
A photo of Cass eating a hot dog at the premiere of her movie, The Perfect Match. She has bruising under her makeup. I took this photo.
Any other injuries covered up on a red carpet?
Yes, at Cannes Film Festival.
What injuries did you see?
A busted lip. She was injured.
Where were you?
In her hotel room with Larry Sims, her hairstylist.
Did you learn how she got the injuries?
Cass had an audio recording of Puff attacking her.
How did Cassie sound on the audio recording?
At this moment, the defense objected and it was overruled.
Panicked. I heard the sound of someone getting hit.
Did you go to events?
The premiere of Brad Pitt's movie Killing Them Softly.
What happened at the premiere?
Puff was digging his nails into her arm and talking low.
What would Mr. Combs ask you to do?
Take care of her. I'd bring her arnica gel.
For what?
Bruises.
Let's turn to December 22nd, 2011.
At Puff's house, the mood was darker than normal. This was more of a, Puff was upset.
What did he tell him?
That Cass had been talking to somebody else.
Who?
Kid Cudi.
How was he?
He seemed heartbroken. It was ominous. I'd never witnessed Cass to do something to really cause him to be upset. I felt something bad would happen.
Did you then see her?
In a black car with Capricorn Clark.
All right, so we got a beauty queen that says battered people will stay in a relationship for years without telling anyone. That happens a majority of the time. I understand, but golly, it's a lot of battered people, women and men, that was witnessing and taking this abuse from Diddy. Man, I'm a man myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, people be talking about slavery and stuff like that, you know, with people being black. I'm a person that, with the mind state that I'm in right now, you know, and have been my whole life, if I was alive back then, I wouldn't have made it. I'd have been one of the ones they'd had to take me out because I'd have been trying to escape and all type of stuff. Oh, well, you know, you just gonna have to take me out. It would have been the same thing with Diddy. Bro, you think you finna put your hands on me or you done slip something on me with some baby oil and, man, I'm finna unalive you. What? Oh, it's going down. They had to take me out. I'm just saying, I'm one of them. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of them. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? If I was in the room or in there seeing him doing what he was doing to Cassie and all that scared stuff, well, you just gonna have to show me. You gonna make an example out of me because I'm gonna get you. You got me messed up.
Reach out to anyone?
Yes, to D-Rock.
What is this?
My emails with D-Rock.
Only the redacted one into evidence.
At this moment, the defense objected to it, but then the prosecution said,
he was security.
Then the judge said, with that foundation admitted.
Read the messages.
I wrote to D-Rock, I'm worried about P. This feels different. Hit this.
If being rich mean I gotta put up with this type of stuff, I'd rather be poor. I'd rather work at McDonald's, Pizza Hut, Whataburger, you know what I'm saying, your local grocery store, your local corner store, McDonald's, whatever. I'd rather do that than to go through this because, man, listen, this crazy.
Email when you get it. Love you.
Were you romantically involved with D-Rock?
Definitely not. That's just how we talked.
Let's talk about the hotel nights. What was your role?
I would sometimes take them there, unpack, set up. I would have to just be like on call essentially and clean up before housekeeping.
What would you bring?
His lotions and potions, Astroglide and candles, some of them cheap Glade candles without the label on. They had to be white.
What else would you bring to the hotel?
Anything he forgot at the house. Food, money,
How much?
a lot, like thousands of dollars.
Do you remember seeing Cassie?
At the London Hotel in New York, I brought something to the room. Cass opened the door. She was wearing a bright blue wig.
How did she appear?
Like she was struggling. I asked, "Are you good?" She closed the door.
How told you to clean the rooms?
Puff, and the office. It was standard to sweep the room so no housekeeper can sell something to TMZ.
How were the rooms?
Destroyed. Candle wax everywhere. I've seen broken glass, sometimes blood, oil on walls,
What would Mr. Combs tell you about the blood?
that it was period blood.
What happened in Cassie's car in LA?
Cass got a call, then told me, he wants to do a hotel night. I don't want to. She got sick.
After the hotel night?
Man down.
What did that mean?
They'd stay in the room sleeping, only up to eat.
Did you do drugs before you worked for Mr. Combs?
No.
And after?
Yes, MDMA. Puff gave it to me. He said that I was now part of the breakfast.
She was on drugs too. Everybody at Bad Boy was strung out, it seeming like. But anyway.
Yes, MDMA. Puff gave it to me. He said that I was now part of the Breakfast Club.
What did he mean?
Like the cool club.
Let's go,
He said
baby.
his MDMA was pure. I felt like I was now a friend hanging out and I could enjoy myself.
Did you take ketamine?
Yes, at Burning Man. We were part.
Now you done seen Diddy, you know what I'm saying, hit Cassie with a left, right, all type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't take a soda pop from Diddy, let alone a pill. What's going on, man? Hey man, the whole Bad Boy was out there bad.
Partying on a tour bus. We had the blackout shades down. He had the drinks on plates. I tried to say no.
What happened?
Puff wouldn't get it go. It turned a little more serious, that I was going to mess up the whole vibe. I tried to fake take it. He got close to my face and humiliated me.
How?
He separated out a dose and made me snort it. I didn't want to fall into the K-hole. I'd seen a person. It looked like an exorcism.
Did you
Listen though, I see you talking about he druggy all of them. Listen, y'all. Through each account that I've heard, as far as them taking narcotics or getting narcotics, you first have to make the personal decision in order to take it. I haven't heard not a one of them say that he forced any kind of anything down their throat. Offered it to them, maybe. Forcing it on them, absolutely not. You want to take this? It's a simple question. Here, you know what I'm saying? You want to take this? It's a simple yes or no question. You can take it, or you can say, no, I'm good. They chose to take it. My question is this. If they chose to take it because Diddy offered it to them, does that make him responsible for their addiction after they took it? Because it was a personal decision to take it or not. Tell me I'm wrong. And each story we done listened to throughout these testimonies, even Cassie's, now one of them said Diddy made him take nothing. Offered it to him? Yeah. Made him try it? No. That was all of their own free will. Whether they did it to blend in, you know what I'm saying? Like she said, I took it because I felt like I was a part of an exclusive group or something. Well, guess what? That ain't Puff's fault. She tried to fake him out. Then he insisted. Yeah, you want to take it? No, I don't think. You sure you don't want to take it? I think you should take it. No, I don't want to take it. That's still not force unless he open up your mouth and put the pill in and take it. That's force. Or I'm going to do something to you if you don't take it. That's force. You want to take it? Yeah, I'll try it. I don't think you can blame that on Puff. Let me see what y'all saying though. Then they always try to either abuse her. She wanted that child. Yes, he supplied it. But you can't blame it on him. You want a bottle of coffee? Hey man, you thirsty? You want a bottle of coffee? No, I don't want no coffee. You sure you don't want no coffee? I thought, man, coffee good. You should drink some coffee. You want some coffee? No, I don't want no coffee. I can't make you drink the coffee now. If I open up your mouth and pour it down your throat, that's me making you do it. If I say, if you don't drink this coffee, I'm gonna unalive you. That's me basically making you do it. But asking you if you want some coffee, and then you say, yeah, okay, I'll try it. You can't blame that on Diddy for your choice. You chose to do that.
You want to take the ketamine?
I didn't feel I had a choice.
Did he take drugs while working?
He was always working, once on the way to Chelsea Handler.
How did Mr. Combs treat you?
Sometimes like best friend and working partner. Sometimes like I was a worthless piece of crap.
How would he compliment you?
My work. He'd give me life advice.
And to tell you, you were...
I'll never cape for Diddy. If Diddy, whatever Diddy did wrong, soon as I hear it, I'm going to tell you he did something wrong. What I'm telling you is, in your day-to-day life, as a human being, you have decisions that you make. You make those decisions. You know it's green out there. You can roll it up and blow it if you want to. You know what I'm saying? If somebody is smoking a sweet and they pass it to you and say, hey, man, you want here, hit it. You say no. Or if they pass it to you and say, hey, man, hit this. And you decide to hit it, the person who passed you the sweet ain't responsible for the choice that you made, because you could always say no and stand firm on that. What are you talking? That ain't me caping for nobody. That's me telling you the God honest truth. If ain't nobody ever told you, you got a thing in life called, you know what I'm saying, your own personal way that you feel and the way that you live, your choices are your choices. You have a choice in life to make your own decisions. Then let me be the first person to tell you, nobody can really, unless they're threatening you or forcing it down your throat, make you do anything. You know what I'm saying? If you got a choice, you have a choice. It's not me caping for nobody.
Worthless?
Long extended rants about how incompetent and stupid I was. Threaten my job.
Anything physical?
Throw things at me.
Did he talk about jobs for you?
Yes. Before Revolt Films, he talked about other companies. I told him I wanted to create and develop TV shows, especially comedy.
Crazy,
he said
boy.
that's what he wanted to do too. Then he'd take away my credits.
What did he throw at you?
A bowl of spaghetti, turkey meat, a computer, a phone.
Let's talk about the spaghetti. What did he tell you to do?
To go get people, but I needed to change my tampon. He yelled, "Yo, girl." I said, "Do it now." Blood was dripping down my leg. I said, "I have to go change my tampon."
What did Mr. Combs do?
He threw his bowl of spaghetti at me, then said, "Get the f*** out of my house." He chased me out. I was barefoot. I hid in a bush, then to a hotel.
What did HR tell you?
That I was going to be suspended without pay. That's what Puff wanted.
Where were you when he threw a computer at you?
In a trailer. Swizz Beats was there. The Wi-Fi was broken, and I went to look into it. I came back and said they were working on it.
Run, Emil, you knock it out. Run, Emil, say knock it off. She was a kid. I was a kid once too, you know what I'm saying, and grew up in the hood. Coulda did a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying, because popular people were doing it, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, man, you want to hit a line of coke? Hell no. Nah, I'm good. You sure you don't? Absolutely not, man. I'll probably hit that stuff and pass out and pass away, man. I'm trying to live. In life, you got a lot of choices, man. You know what I'm saying? And if you grew up like I grew up, you know, in the hood atmosphere, they got everything just like Diddy. You know what I'm saying? You got a person over here trying to get you to do some wet. You got a person over here, got a whole bunch of pills. You got a person over there, they got a kilo. You got Peruvian uncut. You know what I'm saying? The best stuff, snowflakes on it and everything. And done been offered a ton of stuff and turned it down every time. I don't care if you insisted. Man, I think you should do it. No. I don't want to be on it. Are you good? Yeah, I'm straight. Yeah, I'm straight over here with my cup of water. I'm good. You don't gotta put no liquor in it. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got none of that. I'm good over here. Yeah, because I know how to make my own decisions in life. Yeah, for real. The ones that benefit me. Make some good decisions and some bad decisions. But man, I stand on mine, man. I don't know what y'all talking about.
What did Mr. Combs do?
I said I should talk to Bill Gates if I had to. Then he threw his computer at my head. Hard. It just missed me. I ran and hid.
I ain't getting hoodwinked, bro, because I'm not drinking it. I'm not drinking it. I'm not smoking it. I'm not popping it. I'm not doing none of that. I ain't doing none of that. None of that. Bro, you can't hoodwink me because I'm not going to let you. You know what I'm saying? My bottle of water, I'm going to keep that in my hand. Yeah, y'all drinking liquor. If I'm not a liquor drinker, you can't make me drink no liquor. I can't be peer pressure. Yeah, it's like I strong mind, I guess. Everybody ain't like me. But you ain't finna peer pressure me to do nothing, and I'm not gonna make the choice to take anything that I don't wanna take. Period.
Behind the luggage van.
How did you feel?
I wondered, what did I do to make him like this to me?
Did he hurt you?
Turks and Caicos, and at the revolt offices.
Where were you at Turks?
A hammock by my room. Puff dumped a bucket of ice on me, screaming. Then Puff took my phone. I didn't want him to see it. The team, we'd message about his moods. I didn't want him to see it. So I jumped on his back.
What did he do?
He threw me back into the pool.
And at Revolt TV?
He was using my phone, and I didn't want him to see my message. Maybe I called him an asshole. I tried to get the phone back. He ran into the bathroom, then slammed the door on my arm, repeatedly.
Injuries?
Bruises.
Did you see him later?
At the studio. He told me he sent all my compromising photos to him phone, in case I had stuff on him. Kinda like a bullying joke.
How did you take it?
I had no photos, so I knew he was lying.
What are these?
My emails with Tony and Shannon, I said, Puff took my iPhone. I don't know when I'll get it back. Tony asked, what happened? I said, definitely an
Bro, listen, bro. Bro, I never said that I was in their predicament. What I said was, I've had people offer me stuff, man. I'm a grown man, bro. I got gray hairs now, man. I've been around for a minute. You know what I'm saying? I done been in the streets. I done been around street people. I done been around people with a bunch of money doing a bunch of stuff, you know what I'm saying, that I chose not to do. I could have did it. You see what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. I could have did a wide variety of stuff that I chose not to do and stood firm on it. Yeah, like that. Like, man, bro, some of y'all just, man, I don't know what to tell y'all, man. I don't knock y'all for the way y'all think, but don't knock me for the way that I think. I guess we just different. We grew up in different environments. I grew up in the hood. I grew up around, you know, Molly and all that stuff they be talking about, and people being on these illegal substances and been around people that's like, hey, try this. No. How about I don't try that? Yeah, I ain't never pop an XO or none of that in my life. Why? Because I look at that stuff like, yeah, man, they say it's a 1% chance that if you take this, you might pass away. I'm looking at it like, I might be that 1%. Nah, I'm good. I'm good. I don't even want it. Yeah, I'm good. See, that's what I'm saying, man. I guess my mind's just different, man. Yeah, for real.
In-person story.
Why?
I wouldn't put it's in writing.
Who was Matt?
Puff's engineer. At one point, we dated.
I have more.
At this moment, the judge interrupted the prosecution with a break. Then they continued.
The assaults. When did they occur?
When I was working for Puff.
Where was the first time?
The Plaza Hotel in New York for Puff's 40th birthday.
Were you his personal assistant?
Yes. I'd been there only a few months.
What rooms did Mr. Combs rent out?
The penthouse, party guests, and celebrities there.
What did Mr. Combs do?
He asked to speak to me in the kitchen.
What did he do?
He had everyone else clear the room.
What did he say?
That we were going to be working closer together. He poured us 2 shots of vodka each for his birthday.
What did you do with the shot?
I took them. They hit me hard. Usually I could take it, easily. My eyes couldn't focus. His face was close. He put his arm up the side of my dress, and he kissed me.
Did you want him to?
No.
Were you able to say no?
I was shocked. I froze. I didn't process what was happening. Next thing I knew, it was morning, and I was in a chair in the penthouse.
How had you looked at him?
Like an older adult. He was the boss or the king.
What were your expectations?
I thought it would never happen again. A huge accident.
And were there other times he made you feel uncomfortable sexually?
Yes. I had to carry bags to his room. Downstairs was Uncle Paulie.
What did he say to you?
At this moment, the defense objected on the grounds of hearsay. Then the prosecution said,
For the effect?
and the judge overruled it.
I brought the bags. He asked me to pull up something on his computer. He came and sat next to me, leaned over me as if to put his face in the computer, like in an uncomfortable way.
How did you feel?
I pretended I had to go to the bathroom.
Where were you the next time Mr. Combs you?
The Beverly Grove house. I was asleep on the bottom bunk. I wasn't allowed to lock the door. I woke up. There was the weight of a person on me.
Bar TV, I hope you wouldn't talk to me. I hope that you would have hit the like button over here. You know what I'm saying? That's like one of the 10 commandments, to hit the like button. Because, you know, the same way that some bloggers get mad when people don't hit their like button, see me, I'm a little bit different. You don't hit my like button, I'm asked to port you up out of here, and then you won't have to worry about hitting the like button. Matter of fact, you ain't got to worry about watching my channel. How about that?
Who?
Puff. It was so fast. He used one hand to get his pants undone. He put himself inside of me.
You mean his pants inside of you?
I just froze.
How did you feel?
Terrified and confused and ashamed and scared.
How long?
Very quick. But it felt like forever. But he wouldn't leave a job unfinished.
Is that when it would end?
Yes.
The next time?
The Beverly Crest house. I was on his bedroom closet floor putting things in a bag. Then Puff was in the closet. He had his, out, and he grabbed my head and...
At this moment, Mia began to cry.
And put it in.
Mr. Combs took his out and put it in your mouth.
Yes, I was frozen. I didn't do anything, I just...
At this moment, Mia began sobbing.
How did you feel?
Like trash. Scared and ashamed.
How long did it last?
It was very fast.
Were there other sexual assaults?
Yes. I have a dark feeling. One time we were flying on a private jet. Everyone was asleep. By the bathroom, there was a bed. I went by, and he was standing right there. I tried to make it about other people who might see or hear. It didn't work.
Wow.
How did you feel?
Helpless. I had lost some layer of protection. I wasn't safe. Terrified.
Do you remember what happened?
No.
And right there, the women that I be around, the women that I grew up around, and the women that I see around, at that point right there, man, Diddy would have been he would have been in jail right then. Yeah, just do that. He'd have been in jail right then. If he didn't unalive them on the spot and they got to get away and breathe another day, he'd have been in jail right then. I'm telling you.
Was Cassie ever there?
No.
Did you ever want these acts with Mr. Combs?
No.
Did you ever tell him no?
I couldn't tell him no about a sandwich or anything. Then he would know that I thought what he was doing was wrong.
Or unalive. You hear me? Yeah, he'd have been walking around with no nothing down there. They'd have bit it off. Yeah, I'm just saying, man. You know what I'm saying? Man, listen, y'all. I don't know, man.
Didn't want to lose everything I'd worked so hard for. This was the only doing was wrong. I didn't want to lose everything I'd worked so hard for. I thought what he was doing was wrong. I didn't want to lose everything I'd worked so hard for. That I thought what he was doing was wrong. I didn't want to lose everything I'd worked so hard for. That I thought what he was doing was wrong.
Y'all hear that?
I didn't want to lose everything I'd worked so hard for. That I thought what he was doing was wrong. I didn't want to lose everything I'd worked so hard for.
I didn't want to lose everything I worked hard for. I want y'all to marinate on that for a second. And then ask yourself, is it really worth it? To stay in a bad situation? Let's talk about it. I've been telling y'all, let's talk about it. I didn't want to lose everything I worked hard for. All right.
This was the only world I had anymore.
What would happen to your job?
I would never work in that industry again.
And physically?
That I'd be attacked. I don't want to die. He threatened that he would tell Cass that I had something to do with it.
How did you feel?
Desperate and trapped. Worst scary situation. I would have done anything. It was my fault.
Did you tell anyone?
No, I was going to die with this. I would be humiliated, never work again.
And who would do these things?
Puff and all his people. This was way before social media and the Me Too movement. There was this confidentiality.
Did others speak up?
Kayla Faulkner.
How did you hear?
I heard there was an urgent call among film people.
What did you hear?
At this moment, the judge asked the prosecution to lay out some context.
Who was on the call?
HRC suite executives.
Like, I just be trying to keep it 100 with y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? She said, I knew it was wrong. But I didn't want to lose everything I worked hard for. Man, I would have walked away from that stuff so fast. Yeah, I have so fast, gave it all up. After the first time of some BS, I'd have been up out of there, man. It's not worth it. It's not worth my sanity. It's not worth my peace. It's not worth my way of life. It's not worth none of that to be suffering any of these things that I done heard half of these people go through. You know what I'm saying? Talking about, he paid for my car, he paid for my house, he paid, man, listen.
What were you told?
If she sued, I'd have to testify. I was supposed to say she was drinking and punched me, and that's why she was fired.
Was that why?
No, it was because she complained.
When else were you told you'd have to testify?
After Capricorn Clark.
Did you have to testify?
No.
Why didn't you go to the police about Mr. Combs saying her you?
I didn't even consider it.
Did you have experience with police?
Yes, I was speeding. I hadn't had time to get my license renewed. It was the only time I name dropped. I told her who I worked for and she said, "Get him on the phone." I did, and she laughed. "Oh, Puff Daddy, I love you."
Did you get a ticket?
No.
Why didn't you tell us at first about the sexual assaults?
It's the most shameful thing of my life.
Did you get a lawyer for this testimony?
Yes.
Did you speak about these sexual assaults before or after you got the lawyer?
After.
Do you want to be talking about these sexual assaults?
No, it's traumatizing.
Why are you here today?
At this moment, the judge said, Mrs. Smyser, you've asked that. And then they broke there, and that was it for today in court. What do you think about this testimony? Who do you think Mia is?
Man, I don't know who Mia is. But Mia stayed under some treacherous conditions, man. You know what I'm saying? That I don't think I would have put up with at all, man. You know what I'm saying? As quick as I got hired, as quick as I'd have got fired. Because ain't no way. Ain't no way, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I understand people are scared. That's what they've been telling me the whole time. You know what I'm saying? I don't knock nobody else for the way they think. But just me and hearing I didn't want to lose everything I worked hard for. So you endured and put up with all of this because you didn't want to lose what you worked hard for. So you're going to continue to be treated like trash. You know, it's like going to work and not getting paid because everybody else work at the job. I mean, they getting checks. You just there. Ain't a man now, man. Ain't no way. But hey, man, it is what it is, man. I feel you. Hey, Diddy was a monster. He had these people terrified. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't eat. They couldn't sleep. You know what I'm saying? Without his permission, all of that. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened today. That was Mia, the unknown person that worked for Diddy. We don't know her real name or any of that. We don't even know what she looked like. They didn't do no sketches, you know, and anything that you see is gonna have the face blurred out. I don't know if Mia's white or black or what. That was the name they gave her, Mia. And that's what happened today in court, man. Some pretty crazy things, man. You know what I'm saying? Forced herself on her, forced herself in her, forced herself in her mouth, all of that. You know what I'm saying? And she stayed until she was fired for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? He whooping Cassie right in front of her, you know, beating on the hotel door with they got beds and couches and anything else they can find in front of the door to keep Diddy from being able to get in because, you know, basically he was the big bad wolf to them, man. And that's a shame. You know what I'm talking about? He most definitely is guilty of a lot of those things. But the things that they must prove is the racketeering, coercion, and being in traffic. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the testimony that I've been hearing so far is only to corroborate Cassie's testimony, you know, as far as domestic violence, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of the trial. You know, maybe they're going to pop out with these things that are going to show us right here in front of our face, you know, that he did this, and that, you know, with this, and that. But drug dealing, being domestic violence, a very toxic person to be around, Diddy is all that, man. And that's crazy, y'all. Wow. You know what I'm saying? And speaking of Diddy, you know, I got Chopper. He been on an interview spree here lately. Chopper for Making the Band. You know, he most definitely gave another interview where he said he believes that Cassie is doing all of this to Diddy because she got jealous of the way he was treating Young Miami and not treating her the same after all she did for Puff. And that's why he in trouble right now. That's what Chopper said. Let's check it out. Shout out to everybody in the building. Get the likes up.
People pushing this narrative. I want to get your point of view. How you feel about the people that feel like Cassie is bitter and she only suing Diddy because he did more for Young Miami than he did for her?
I gotta agree. I don't know what segment in the Art of Dialogue you dig that I said this at, but I'm just gonna resurface it. All right, Cass had been with Diddy in a polygamous relationship for about 11 years. I would say a polygamous toxic relationship for about 11 years. She didn't quite get her just due with her career. Okay. He left a sour taste in the young lady's mouth, period. No matter how that sounds. He do that with everybody, bruh. Okay, that's his reputation, period. Okay, Diddy get this, Diddy got a special ingredient that he got away with for a long time. And it's called reinvention. Diddy has a reinventional sauce that he got away with for a very long time. Diddy will go Mohawk Diddy, Puff Daddy, Brother Love. Diddy can turn into a different alter ego per 5 to 10 years and get away with it. Diddy can go from that to Christ, Missing You songs, and you dig? Diddy can go, you dig? So Diddy have been running with that game for a very long time, okay? Diddy had an ego, a young ego, okay? We're gonna call it a YN. Diddy, the YN destroyed
Can
it.
we get 200 on the likes, man? We need to get that like button moving, man. Why are we still in the 100s, man? We need to be in the 200s. Y'all double tap that screen, get the likes up, man. Y'all know I'll lock the box down and then won't nobody be typing. I'm just saying, you'll have to be subscribed to the channel in order to type, man. Click those 3 dots, hit the thumbs up for the channel, man. You know what I'm saying? If you don't mind, we don't never have likes this low, never. You know what I'm saying? Let's get them likes up, y'all. Click the 3 dots, hit the thumbs up.
You know, so all you YNs out there with the Pooh Shiesty mask, the 30 clips and all that shit there, leave that shit alone. Get a job, get some money, take care of your family, do what you gotta do, you heard me? Because that YN shit, them people got a place for you. Leave that shit alone. These streets, get some money and take care of your family because your mama love you. All right, Diddy went through an era of, I don't know, wanting to be a YN and trying to reinvent himself and dealing with Young Miami, ironically, of all women. And I'm not shooting her down either, because shout out to Miami and shout out to Young Miami as well, because all she's trying to do is what she's supposed to do, you know, with her career and her life. And you can't knock her for that, though, you know, because she's from the streets, period. And young lady should be doing what she's supposed to do to get what she got to go. Diddy been with Cassie for 11 years, of a polygamous toxic relationship. This is just my way of thinking. All right. Gave her nothing but, I'm sorry about that. Gave Cassie nothing but penises, freak offs, shopping sprees, and flourishments to someone that came from nothing. They would love that. But Cassie actually came from a good family, and a good family of love. You understand? She didn't come from the streets. You understand? So it was only be a matter of time towards somebody was
All right, Chopper says that Cassie came from a good family, y'all.
going to manipulate her or convince her or love her enough to tell her that you need to get your just due from this dude somehow, some way. When Diddy started dealing with Young Miami, giving her the TV shows, the Carisha Please shows, and doing all this here for her, I felt
Do
like
y'all believe that Cassie could have been jealous about Young Miami? Because let's keep it real, Diddy was most definitely spoiling Young Miami. You know, like we've not seen him spoil nobody before. He was most definitely dropping the bag to Young Miami.
Cassie felt the way. That was the tip of the iceberg for her to say, this nigga, 100%. I'm going to do this nigga dirty. She hit Diddy with a, what's that called? She went from What's Love Got to Do With It, with Tina Turner and Ike, and then she hit him with the, what was that movie called back in the G, where when Whitney Houston had a theme song for it? It wasn't Stella. Angela Bassett, I think she got into it with a dude, and a dude left her with nothing. Waiting to exhale. Real nigga, Blake, baby. So Cassie reinvented herself too. Period. She went from loving basketball with Diddy, thinking it was love, to what's love got to do with it, practically, to waiting to exhale. So a scorned woman's revenge is the worst revenge ever. So yes, I do feel like Cassie felt like she wanted vengeance. Because unlike the Choppers, unlike the Craig Macks and the Biggies, I still gotta say something about that Biggie situation too, remind me. And all these artists, the Loons, the Maces, and all that there. And mind you, I wanna say this here because it's something I gotta clarify, you heard me? I did Making the Band. We know that. Great. I was a child. I was 16, okay, on Making the Band. I wasn't a grown man, okay? I haven't lived to my full extent as an artist at 16 years old on TV. You understand? I had a fake ID. I was a child. That was high school to me. You understand? It wasn't real to me. It was fun. You want to know who really won out of all that
Hey,
me.
Christy.
Do Diddy owe me all this money? Yes. But deep down, Chop, did you come in with a fake ID, a fake name, and warrants on you, and was just having fun? You heard me? And didn't think that you was even going to make no band? I didn't even think it was making a band. You heard me? I just auditioned to try to be a bad boy artist. I didn't even think I was going into making a band. So let's get that clear. The Cheesecake Walk, I would have walked that a million times because it was fun to me. I'm a child that came off Barone and Martin Luther King. I'm a child that came off Felicity. I was a child that was born in Baltimore, Maryland, that came to New Orleans at 6 years old with a grandma that's Haitian and a daddy that went to prison. And then when she died and my daddy went to prison, I was out in these streets by myself. You understand? I went through this out here in this city that you're in right now. This is New Orleans. I was here by myself. All my family, you heard me? My daddy family and all that there, they left me hanging out here. So to go...
Chopper say he would have walked and got that cheesecake a million times to accomplish his dream. Chopper, would you have let Diddy sprinkle baby oil on you, though, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, have you in compromising positions for that fame? Because I most definitely wouldn't.
All the way up to New York and make the band and do all that that was an achievement for me. He walked for cheesecake. I would have walked a million cheesecakes, yeah. Then to be down here shooting and getting shot at and dying out this bitch. I did what I was supposed to do as a child. So for me now, when people say he's so articulate, and this is not to get off topic, you understand? This is just to add on to what I'm about to say. At the end of the day,
chat said, yeah, he would have let Diddy slide down his backside. I wouldn't, man. That's crazy.
I had fun. Who I am now is who you see now. So when people say he's intelligent, articulate, and do all this here, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate the new fans. I appreciate everybody that know me before. I appreciate the people that know me now. Thank you so much. I'm grateful for that. But this is who I am now. So the person, the cheesecake guy and the Mickey the Band guy and all that there, that was him. I don't know him. That's like asking a nigga, you dealt with the Kennedy. It's like asking a nigga, oh, I remember that nigga named Kennedy, high school. And I'm 37 years old now. You can't pinpoint me from who I was to who I am now and try to make it one mesh. I'm totally different than who I was to who I am now. To get to the point of what I'm saying, yeah, absolutely the lady felt like, this nigga. Yes, it was a tip of the iceberg. You're right. It was a tip of the iceberg for everybody. I won. Cassie won, I won. I won in a weird way because I had a fake ID. I wasn't my name. I had warrants out on me from crimes I was committing as a child. I had no other choice. You dig? My back was against the wall. You understand? So I did what I had to do. I won. Why did I win? It's because he f***ed over everybody on all the Megan the Bands and everybody on Bad Boy. Why? It's because that was their real name. They had no warrants out on them. They went up there with a seriousness and lost.
But he messed you over too, though. You said he still owed you $500,000, Chopper. Now you capping.
Why did they lose? It's because they put their life on the line for somebody that fake act like they was family towards them and he f***ed them over. You understand? He tried that with me and I won. Why did I win? It's because I had a fake ID. I had warrants out on me and it was all fun to me. I didn't take it serious. I just, a nigga that can rap and a nigga that was like, if I make it, I make it. If I don't, I'm going to get some money somehow, some fucking way. Period. I fucking won. But Cassie won. Why did she win? It's because regardless of what, yeah, she was bitter about that young man. Yeah, fucking right, that was the tip of the iceberg. But at the end of the day, the lady won, and she won for all of us. And that's how we all got to see it. At least somebody that went through, you heard me, what we went through, won. And I'm so proud of her. Regardless of this Diddy and the trial, I'm happy that that lady got $20 to $30 million from off the sweats of everybody's back because at least somebody beat him. And regardless of what, he had the authority, the power, the finesse, you understand, the control to beat everybody. And then when you try to fight him back, he'll beat you in court. We couldn't beat him. So kudos to fucking Cassie for beating him when we all couldn't beat him. And kudos to me for beating him too. I was on some Catch Me If You Can shit. You heard me? I was on some Leonardo DiCaprio shit. You heard me? I beat it. Do he really owe me 500-something thousand? If I was Rodney Hill with the fake ID, yeah. But do we owe Kevin Barnes? No. Who won? Cassie on one standpoint for the 20 million and Chopper Young City. So that's what I'm gonna say about that. Yes, she was bitter. Yes, that was the tip of the iceberg. And she won. So regardless of how this transpired, mighty bruh, if Diddy go to jail, fuck him. You dig? Do I want to see a man locked up back there when I had a sex trafficking charge that got dropped? No. But at the end of the
I told y'all he had that being a traffic charge. I told y'all.
They fuck him. You dig? Because he said every last one of us. He didn't care about when Black Rob caught that kidney disease and died. And that man had a hit record called Whoa. Kept Bad Boy on top at a moment when it was spiraling down. And what was the grace that you gave that man? You ain't give him $1. You ain't give his people not $1. You didn't even show up to his funeral. You didn't pay for his funeral. He gave you close to $15 million. You heard me?
Dang.
And you ain't give him $1 for his funeral.
That's cold-blooded.
The shit that he done to Freddie P. Look at my dog Freddie P. You understand? Look how Freddie P wasn't never like that there. You understand? Freddie P wasn't never like that. And I'm a calm person. But I feel away. Is it the tip of the iceberg? Sipper, it's not the tip of the iceberg for Cassie. Sipper, it was the tip of the iceberg for all of us. Period. It was just the universe to unravel the way it should, mighty bruh. And it was just his fucking time to get what he deserved. Period. So the 30 million that ain't the tip of the iceberg. His life is on the line now. His life is on the line. And I don't believe that it came truly from He say, she say. Diddy's in jail right now off he say, she say. That's facts, okay? That's why it's a weak case. It's a he say, she say case. And if you want to pinpoint, you heard me, what it's really about, it's domestic dispute. But what is it really about? It's about the liquor company, I'm going to keep saying that, who has billions. Diddy, you're a billionaire. Congratulations. You've done that. Especially for a black man. You've done that. That's a good look. You heard me? But at the end of the day, you bit the hand that fed you with that dairy on. You heard me? And them people got multiple billions. So they can control the masses of how they want you to see, how they want the world to see you. From you fucking them over and playing with them like you're a big dog. You're a big dog to the industry that you have been roaming in, had the ingredients in, controlled the narrative in. But you don't control the narrative with the multi-billionaires. And that's why you're in this situation.
Well, you right, you know what I'm saying? You can't play games with them people that got more money than you got. See, the games you played, Diddy, they was little games. Them people with that big money, more billions than the billion you had, they got billions. You got a billion. Yeah, they played the games that you was playing with these other people with you. Let's go, Chopper.
Right now. Besides that, the universe to unravel the way it should. You can say God, you can say higher power, you can say Buddha, you can say Allah, you can say Christ, whoever it was, felt like it was your time. Because when I caught that sex trafficking charge, I was out there cutting up in Vegas. I was cutting up, and I don't even want to put myself out there like that, but it's on record. I was cutting up. So for the things they could have hit me with, I'm blessed by the universe and God that He's seen the better in me, the better person in me, that I have another chance and don't gotta go to prison and get shipped up the road. You heard me? To go through nothing, because I wouldn't have been able to beat that. I wouldn't have been able to beat it. If them people would have controlled the narrative 100%, I would have been doing life in prison for something I didn't even know what the fuck I done. You understand? So Diddy is going through this shit, not just from the things he done wrong, brother. Not just from the things he done wrong. From biting the hand that fed him. Not just from that. From the universe to unravel the way it should. Because what you put out there will come back to you. Maybe not now, but it will come back to you. And that's why I try my best to be a good person. So is Cassidy wrong for what she's doing? Maybe, maybe not. But maybe it's just time. Maybe it's just time for Diddy to have the humble pie. But don't you ever misconstrue Chop like I was just a Megan the Band. Because after Megan the Band, I did Bad Boy South. I got things stolen from me, songs, hit songs, that would have took me out of the fucking orbit. You understand what I'm saying? But yet and still, I'm in the building, I'm smiling. You understand? I'm looking good, I'm feeling good. You understand? I won. So you can say whatever you want about the Diddy, Diddy. I'm not on Art of Dialogue just for Diddy. I'm on Art of Dialogue because this is a hip-hop cultural platform, and you're here to speak your truth. And my truth is this. Cassie, you know, them people manipulated you to get on there and testify against this man, you heard me? When the real truth of it is, you already won, baby girl. You know, but I can't tell you what to do because you live your own life. I feel a way about the Biggie situation. And I wanted to bring this up, Mighty. And I'm not going to go off course because I stay on course. But I have to bring this up. With the Biggie situation, I feel like this here. That man resting in peace, he might not even be resting in peace because he didn't deserve to die. Puff, you could have resolved this here with that Suge Knight Tupac. You could have resolved that a long time ago. You understand? And you didn't do that. You played this role, you heard me? Like, oh no, we ain't got no beef. But the real truth of it is, behind the scenes, you was blowing up all the chimneys. That young man at 24 years old from Brooklyn, New York, with a Jamaican mama, you understand? That Jamaican kid died for nothing. He died for nothing, did it? And you could have prevented that. And you didn't. Just leads me to say, it's like you plagued on his life too. Because you knew if he died, you was going to get buku benefits off his debt way more than him living. Because deep down, he wanted to leave you anyway. You heard me? That's the truth, bruh. Everybody wanted to leave his nigga. Diddy ain't dropped me. You heard me? I left. Why did I leave? Because when Katrina happened, son, I said to myself, hey, you're not going to help me, then you was never going to help me in the first place. And what happened? I lost my house, my cars, all this shit. I asked you after Katrina was over. I said, say, bro, I lost everything. Everything. My whole house in Michoud of Expedition. I had a beautiful house. I lost everything. All my memorabilia, all my awards, all my stuff, all my family. I lost everything, brother. All I asked you to do was help me get back on my feet. You told me I didn't get on that road. Me. I love you for everything you've done for me and got me out the ghetto and the opportunity and chances you gave me. But Lord knows it's you too. So Cassie, I understand. Craig Mack, I understand. Loon, I understand. Mace, I understand. The band, I understand. Danny DeCane, I understand. Aubrey, a little weird, 100%. X-Files, but I understand. Day 26, I understand. Man, Bad Boy, everybody that was down with them, who never got their chance.
Chopper say, man, believe it or not, y'all, he survived Diddy. You know what I'm saying? That's why he keep on saying, I won, I won, I won, I won. I guess in his own way, he did win. He's able to benefit right now, you know, sitting on this couch telling his story, getting paid, you know, to do these interviews by what he did. You know what I'm saying? And I guess in his own way, he survived. You know, let's go, Chopper.
I understand. I get it. And I'm on this platform to say, I hope we all forgive ourselves. Because at the end of the day, we was all young with fire, and all we wanted to do was win. But people like them, the gatekeepers, don't give real artists like us a chance to win. And I'm saying this right now to every last one of y'all. I love y'all. Don't let your past define your future. You are great. You are who you are. Keep fighting. Keep winning. The things that Cassie is doing right now, that's the universe calling. But I'm saying this to you artists. Look at all that. This is your chance. This is your chance to get back on your feet. I ain't ever stopped. Say whatever about Young City, about Chopper City, but I haven't ever stopped. Some people have ways of how they work, they wiggle. Some people gotta sue to be heard. I'm not gonna sue this man. I'm gonna let the universe turn unravel the way it should, but I will speak my truth.
Chopper, y'all, you know what I'm saying? That was Chopper's views
Who never got their
on the
chance.
things that were going on, man. He says that Cassie, you know, could have potentially been upset by what she seen what Diddy was doing for Young Miami, you know, and knowing all the things that she went through trying to get her career off the ground and the stuff that she endured at the hands of Diddy, only for him to turn around and do it for somebody else and not do it for her. She could have felt the way. That's what Chopper said, you know what I'm saying? And he said a lot of bad boy people have a lot of things to say. You know, they all got a story to tell. Shout out to all of them that came out and told their stories. But the point that he wanted to get across the most that I seen was that he feels like he won, you know, and basically he survived Diddy, right? And y'all know that we've been over here. We've been listening a couple of these nights to Gene Deal tell stories, right? About being a bad boy, you know, being around Diddy, some of the stuff he witnessed Diddy do, right? Well, over these last couple of days, man, you know, from the donuts, you know, that Gene Deal had to, I guess, beat up at the courthouse, to this guy Choke No Joke, you know, who's basically trying to put Gene Deal in the dirt, man. You know what I'm saying? He basically said that Gene Deal is just as bad as Diddy and that he should be sitting in a cell right next to him. That's what he said. You know what I'm saying? That's what he said. And not only can I tell you what he said, here, we gonna go listen to exactly what he says. Y'all let me know. Y'all, if y'all think that this guy, you know, this is Choke No Joke right here. You know, he basically has some very, you know, harsh words for Gene Deal, y'all. Let's check him out.
This nigga's in jail, and you're going. You know what that is? Man, Suge, man, I wasn't friends with Reggie back then.
Remember the other day I showed y'all a clip of of Gene Deal, you know, basically them saying that no, it was Suge Knight saying, no, who was it? Was it Gene Deal? It was Suge Knight that said that Gene Deal and Reggie White Jr. are homeboys, or the dad, he was cool with the dad, one of the two. You know what I'm saying? And basically this is Choke No Joke calling out Gene Deal for all this that he's been saying concerning Diddy, and alleges that Gene Deal is the same way.
That was Paul. That was Paul Alford. It don't matter who was working with Paul. You.
He's talking about
It don't
Gene
matter
Deal.
who made the call, nigga. You was all y'all in security. Y'all all the same team. If Steph Curry lose, Draymond Green lose too, nigga. Y'all all the same team. Y'all all worked for Puff. Y'all all was doing security. So it don't matter if Paul made the call to Reggie. You was down. So you talking about, yo, Suge, that wasn't me. It was Paul. It was Paul Alford. Yo, explain to me how these niggas get on it. Reggie's another one. This nigga goes and try to lie and put it on Suge, the Biggie thing, talking about Teresa Swan. First he tell Greg Kane come to him, he talking about, oh, it was Southside. Southside killed Biggie because they didn't get their money for killing Tupac. Who told you that?
He talking about Reggie White.
Who told you that Southside killed Biggie because they didn't get their money for killing Tupac? Where'd you get that from? And then you talking about Suge used Tupac for a shield. Yeah, that's right. Suge used Tupac for a shield. Where'd you get that from? Who told you that?
He on they top.
Even though we don't believe it,
he on Gene Deal and Reggie White top, man.
Let's say if it was true. Who would have told you that Suge used him for a shield? It would have to been the shooter, right? Right? Now, ain't nobody believing that story, but let's just say it was true, right? That means you would know the shooter. And we pretty much sure you know who the shooter was because you called your daddy. And it damn sure wasn't Orlando Anderson. Y'all try to put it on Southside just like you try to put Biggie murder on Southside.
Ballin', he went in, man.
Oh, Southside killed Biggie. Police come to Reggie, he the suspect. Oh, nah, Southside killed Biggie because they didn't get their money for killing Tupac. Who told you that? I thought Tupac got killed because he jumped on Orlando. Now you saying, Reggie, it was a hit? Well, who told you that? How would you know that Southside killed Biggie because they didn't get their money for killing Tupac?
Hold on, I got something I want to show y'all. Hold up real quick. All right, so just so we can put some context to who he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? So y'all will know. Hold up. He's talking about Gene Deal. And he's also talking about this guy right here, Reggie White.
So, before Biggie got killed, you said the bad boy reached out to you
about this guy
for security? Why would bad boy get security for someone who's already working with Death Row for Biggie? It makes no sense.
Yeah. It was an accident, or not accident, or just them not knowing because they was out here in California looking for security at the last minute. There was a guy that worked for me by the name of James McMichaels, who worked for Inglewood Unified School District. And I guess he had some relationship with some guys over at Inglewood PD who eventually took the job and worked there, worked that night. And so they reached out. James McDonald Daniels came, or McDaniels, I forget how he pronounced his name. I think it was McDaniels now. Came to me and said, "Hey, Red, they looking, bad boys in town. They looking for some security for Biggie." And I was like, man, they don't know who they reaching out to. I'm not working for them. I don't want to work with them. And they don't want me to work for them. That's how it went. Didn't think nothing of it until I heard that there were some Inglewood cops that was there on scene, but they didn't have their work permits. And when stuff went down, they took off and got out of there. Yeah.
Oh, so they could have actually had police statements, but since they didn't have work permits, they just pretended not to be there?
And they got out of it. But I think it came out. I think the cops ended up, if we research it and look it up, something happened to those cops. They found out who those cops were.
Okay, well.
But a lot of people think the LAPD. Everybody get out of this. If you're out of the county of Los Angeles, everybody think everything that goes on in California is LAPD.
So, before.
All right. So that was just to put some context on who he's talking about. He's talking about this dude right here is supposed to be best friends, with Gene Deal. That's what he going off about. Let's get back to it.
And who told you Southside was supposed to get money for killing Tupac? You run your mouth too much. Think about that, y'all. If Gray Caden and the LAPD come to Reggie and they accusing him of murdering Big, and he tells them Southside killed Biggie because they didn't get their money from killing Tupac, how would he know that information? Unless he know who killed Tupac and know who killed Biggie, right? And then when Gray Caden doubled back on Reggie, when Keefy D is like, we killed Biggie, we was with Biggie that night. What did Reggie say? Oh, nah, I was shook. He got Teresa Swan or Tammy Hawkins to do it, to set it up with Poochie. Well, who told you that? How would you know that? I need y'all to use your brain for a second. If Gray Caden doubled back to Reggie and say, yo, why you lie to me and say it was Southside killed Biggie when they was in there? And he turns around and say, oh, no, I was shook. He got Teresa Swan and Tammy Hawkins to get Poochie to come up there. And how do you know that? How do you know that? So, you telling me you lied to Gray Caden the first time when you told him that it was Southside? And you really felt like it was Teresa Swan and Poochie and Suge? Well, you know that ain't true, because y'all set Suge up. Y'all had her go in there with wires, and you probably went in there wired yourself, because I know if she went in there wired, your rat ass who set up the whole shit went in there wired, and they found out that Suge didn't do shit. Because y'all tried to set him up with a wiretap. And it didn't work.
Boy, 2025 is something else, boy. They telling everything.
But ironically, you would have wanted to make sure nobody had no guns in Vegas. Ironically, Paul Offer called you for Biggie, which put you on point that they was going to be in town. What you do with that information when Paul called you? According to Gene, Paul called you.
According to Gene, when he says Gene, he's talking about Gene Deal.
I ain't say it. Gene said it today. Gene said that today. Paul called you. It wasn't him. It was Paul Offer. And you got the nerve and the audacity to try to send, well, not try, to send Suge Knight a cease and desist letter? You don't want to hear Suge talk? You don't want him to tell the truth about you?
What's up,
or
Peyton?
all the lies that you went in and stories you told on your channel about Suge? You want to send him a cease and desist? The nigga that you accused of killing Biggie and try to set him up with Tammy Hawkins or Teresa Swan, whatever, which one is the AKA? For all your artists out there that got off-duty cops in your circle, you better watch these niggas. You know why? Because they the police. You the police.
Up,
Rest in peace, Gonzo. Yo, Suge, man, you better do your research. It wasn't me. It was Paul Offer.
What's up, Roxanne? It get good. It get great in a second, especially when he go to trying to blast Gene Deal.
These niggas is with the Gene and Reggie need to start a group called Tattletale.
Lord.
MC Tattle and DJ Tail. The pork tail, the pig tail, you know the pig got that little curly tail. Squeal, Tattle, and Tail, pork butt. Gene Squeal, aka Tattle, and Reggie Wright Jr., aka pork butt. Tattle, Tail.
He called Gene Deal Gene Squeal.
Squeal, pork butt. Nigga said the 137 Source twins. If Paul don't know it, he know it now. Because somebody just sent this to him. Man, Gene said it was you. You tried to hire death row security. It was Paul Offer.
Miss Fat say he ain't lying.
I'm sitting there watching like, look at this rat ass bastard. Look at this rat bastard. Unique couldn't have called him nothing better. Look at this rat bastard. It was Paul Offer. Suge, you gotta get it right. It wasn't me. I didn't meet Reggie then. Nigga, Paul probably ain't know Reggie then. Or maybe he did. But I know one thing. You said Chaz and them sat right across the street and watched Biggie get murdered. And you kept that secret until Chaz died. That was supposed to go to your grave with you too. If he tell you don't say nothing, just because a nigga died, nigga don't mean you go start telling.
Old school dry snitching. Let's go, Diamond Love.
This niggas is crazy. Yeah, I see Unique asking Gene why he going at it. See, but the thing I don't like about Unique, he think that shit is a joke. Like, he should have been cut Gene off. Because to me, Unique, and shout out to Unique, Mecca Audio, right? Mr. Club 2000, he want me to call him. Right? He sit there and make it look like he's checking Gene, but you're not checking with him if you effing with him. Not in my book. You just getting some more views. You trying to get views doing these interviews with him, you know, as if you checking him. But y'all niggas are still friends. Unique, what you think he gonna do to you? What you think he would do to you if it was you? Like, you can't act like you got integrity and you standing up for the street code when you effing with this rat. Like, he going to the courthouse begging for them to try to subpoena him. But they not going to deal with him because he's not a credible source.
So they talking about he says the reason Gene Deal, and I've been asking why come they didn't let Gene Deal be a witness and take the stand? Choke no joke say because Gene Deal ain't a credible source.
He's a liar. Oh, I took the gun from D-Rock walking out the party. Or I took the gun from Paul back at the hospital. Nigga, which one is it? Oh, I never gave D-Rock a gun. That nigga choke lying. Oh, I gave D-Rock the gun and I told him to watch Big. But these people talk about, oh, Gene's story never changes. Well, maybe you need to go on a marathon and sit down and watch all his goddamn videos, all you dumbasses talking about his story never changed. You should take a few goddamn days and go through all his shit if you think his story never changed. Dummies.
Choke say you upset.
Oh, Gene's story never changed. Oh, you just like the Pillsbury Doughboy. That's what you like. You like to just poke him in the stomach and see him go. Gene's story never changed. Phony asses. Just like I be seeing all you phony dudes in the nigga chat acting like y'all my friends. I see you, phony ass niggas. That nigga sitting there supporting the nigga that sent Diddy to jail because he couldn't allegedly extort him.
Y'all heard? Now
the
this
nigga that sent Diddy to jail because he couldn't allegedly extort him.
Listen, y'all.
Supporting the nigga that sent Diddy to jail because he couldn't allegedly extort him.
Remember what I told y'all earlier? Choke No Joke says that Gene Deal was sent at Diddy, you know what I'm saying, to collect a payment on some narcotics. And since he couldn't get them or something like that, that's why this is going on. Now he finna tell us. Make sure y'all listen.
And if you listen to that interview that I played with him talking about why he going to the Empire State Building, he tell on himself. Whenever he lying, he goes, man, I went to see Diddy and he'll watch his words every time. And he'll change and until he try to get it right, to try to get what he said. No, nigga, you tried to extort the nigga allegedly and it didn't work.
Said that Gene Deal allegedly tried to extort Diddy and it didn't work. Listen, y'all.
And he told you suck his stick. And that's a fact. He told you to suck his stick.
He said that Gene Deal tried to extort Diddy and Diddy told him, you know, basically, eat my lap.
His security was there and they told me. You tried to allegedly press him for money in 2016 or 2017, and that's when your story changed. All they got to do is go through your page. You wasn't talking about, oh, I've been doing this, I've been going at this for Puff since way back in the days. I've been going at it. You're lying. You're lying. Nigga, we watched all the videos. Got the nerve to be talking about sex trafficking and you working for the Madam of Harlem with a badge.
What? You doing what?
For the Madam of Harlem with a badge.
Man, I ain't know none of this stuff.
And you working for the Madam of Harlem with a badge.
Says that Gene Deal was putting women in traffic himself, talking about Diddy. Let's go.
You running the hoes to Mike Tyson with a badge in your pocket. You running hoes to KG, brother Pookie, with a badge in your pocket. You said yourself you work for the Madam. A Madam is a person that sells sex, that sells women. And you worked for it and you transported these women around to celebrities. And you got the nerve to be talking about Diddy and sex trafficking?
Whoa!
Somebody tell me I'm lying. You never heard him say he was sex trafficking women to Mike Tyson and KG, brother, across the Jersey and New York, and it was funny to him? Somebody tell me I'm lying. Please, I'll wait. Somebody tell me I'm lying. Did he or not say he was sex trafficking women for the Madam of Harlem? It took girls to go sex Mike Tyson and KG, brother. And there ain't no telling who else he done brought women to. And he got the nerve to be in the goddamn courtroom. Y'all tell me who did sex trafficking more? Diddy or Gene Deal?
Wow.
Or Diddy or Gene Deal?
Yeah, listen, y'all. I told
Diddy
y'all.
Or Gene Deal? Who did sex trafficking more? Diddy or Gene Deal? All jokes aside, which one defines sex trafficking? What Gene was doing, taking women to Mike Tyson and KG, brother, and working for the Madam Harlem, while he was a parole officer? Or is Diddy sex trafficking Cassie? Which one is it? And you tell me this nigga ain't got no type of immunity that he could go on the internet and talk about how he was sex trafficking? And get no charges? And can laugh,
dang, y'all,
laugh and joke about it? A nigga with daughters? Somebody tell me I'm lying. I dare you to tell me I'm lying. See, I'm gonna play it.
He own it, boy. He own it. Watch this. Oh, he finna prove his point. Just keep watching. Double tap that screen. Get the likes up. Caramel say he been speaking out against Gene for the last 2 weeks.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowances made for fair use of purposes such as credit statute that might otherwise be in favor of fair use. Let me get my charger. Oh, this is gonna hold up.
I ain't even know it turned sideways.
And repost this or follow the story.
This is what Ivy League University.
First of all,
right, so hold on. So right here I gotta switch because I did it in like segments. So hold on real quick. Let me take it to the next video. He actually is gonna pull up a video, you know what I'm saying, of Gene. But hold on, let's go here.
Nice. Then bam, he goes see Diddy 2016, 2017 around then. In the wrist with the corkscrew. Misa got kicked under the car. Kurt Burrows got robbed. D. Ferg, he didn't give D. Ferg $20,000 for the cocaine for the connect because his man got caught.
All right, so right now he's talking about how Gene Deal came into contact with Diddy, you know what I'm saying, about that extortion over some narcotics. You know, he finna tell the story. Listen.
$2,000 for the cocaine for the connect because his man got caught, and D. Ferg wanted Diddy to give him money to replace the cocaine, and Diddy said no. Wolf mother. Oh, he owed Wolf money. Wolf is dead. He trying to collect on Wolf's behalf. Wolf mother, he trying to collect on Wolf mother's behalf. She dies. He's going to Diddy. Oh, I don't like the fact that he's using the same gang name and he ain't doing nothing for nobody. He goes to Diddy, allegedly, but according to Diddy security, and he tries to press Diddy for money. Oh yeah, Usher. Yeah, man. He did this to Usher, and they had to take Usher to the hospital.
He talking about Gene Deal, y'all.
All this he said, that ain't no alleged. That ain't no alleged. He knew all this about Usher, but he didn't go to the police. Right? But y'all let him call and say and let him say that he's a victim. Oh, he didn't tell about Usher because, you know, Gene was a victim. You know, he was a victim too, like Cassie. You know, he couldn't leave Bad Boy at the time because he was scared of Diddy. Right. He go to Diddy and he try to press him for money, allegedly. Diddy tells him, yo, I ain't got nothing for you, Gene. Get out of here. Gene threatens him with whatever secrets they got amongst each other. Clearly, Diddy like, nigga, go tell. You was involved too.
Talking about Gene.
Right? Go ahead and tell. I don't care. Man, he tell him, right, man, I'm going against the Empire State Building. I'm going against the Empire State Building. No, nigga, you're going to rat on Diddy because you're trying to press him, extort him for money, allegedly, right? And what did Diddy tell you, G? Tell the people. Suck his dick. That's what he told you, right? Ain't no alleged to that. What did Diddy tell you, nigga? Suck his didn't he? And what you do? Went right on YouTube.
Wow.
Diddy did that.
So he said that Gene Deal was sent at Diddy to collect on narcotics debt you know, basically tried to get money out of Diddy, and Diddy told Gene Deal, you know, basically to eat his lap. Hey, man, hey, ballin', I'm just saying, bro. Man, look, you know what I'm saying? This choke no joke, man. I ain't know nothing about none of this. This is all brand new to me, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow, when I'm listening to this.
Did this, then he did that, then he did this, then he did that. He said he was gonna pimp them girls to his niggas. He put the stuff in the juice. He did this. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. He told you to suck his sack. And what you did? Ran right on the internet and sucked his sack by telling. And now he in jail. From all your stories, you built this whole image and made him look like the demon he is, allegedly, right? We know your ass got some type of immunity. I don't know if it's in the Biggie case, but nigga, you been snitching since Tupac murder. We heard you on the videos on Murder Rap.
Chance, the beans are spilling, man.
You're telling. You're talking to the police. Now you talking about, oh, I ain't know Reggie. I ain't meet Reggie till about 2015, 2016. So my man in Detroit, he hooked us up. Why would anybody want you to talk to the #1 suspect in Biggie murder? Why would you want to talk to the #1 suspect in the Biggie murder? Because you don't give a fuck about Big.
Miss D, this is crazy.
You was mad at Big. He blew your spot up. You was smoking weed on the job. Junkie. You was a junkie cop. Police don't supposed to get high. They can't get high. You got illegal guns over there. You over there smoking weed. You think you a rapper?
He talking about Gene Deal, y'all.
You hoping Diddy blow trial. You know damn well, Diddy, you was there in the beginning. You know he didn't create Bad Boy to sex traffic Cassie. You know he didn't create Bad Boy for commercial sex workers. You was there. You've been there since City College. You was there since City College. You know damn well was no Cassie around during City College. You know there was no Cassie around the Big Mac. When they came with the Big Mac, there was no Cassie, nigga. So you know damn well, right now, without a shadow of a doubt, that Bad Boy Records, Sean John, or any Revolt, any of that, was not created to traffic women. But you want to see him go to jail, because if that nigga get out, your ass is scared.
He said if Diddy get out, that Gene Deal is scared. Lord have mercy. Man, listen. Hey, man. Choke no joke, putting it all on the table, man.
So now he talking about, man, I didn't know Reggie. I met Reggie in 2015. That's when me and Reggie got cool. Why would you be cool with Reggie? Why would a nigga even want to hook you up with Reggie? What y'all got in common? Badges? Badges? We don't need no stinking badges over here. Badges? We don't need no stinking badges. Why would a nigga in Detroit want to hook you up with Reggie? Tell us why. Why are you going on Reggie's platform? Y'all was cool until y'all fell out. Don't act like you hate Reggie, because you didn't hate Reggie in the beginning. And Reggie definitely didn't hate you in the beginning. Y'all niggas was doing interviews together. Why would you want to do an interview or say anything to Reggie Wright Jr., who was the #1 suspect in Biggie's murder? Or is? Both of y'all some rat bastards who got immunity. Don't tell me Reggie ain't got immunity. He already told on himself. Immunity, queen for a day, prophet, whatever it is. Why are you cool with any nigga from Death Row? And don't say, oh, Joker, well, you was talking to Suge. So, I don't work for Bad Boy. I met Suge way in the 90s. I don't work for Bad Boy. I never met Big. So don't talk about, well, yo, you talk to Suge, so what?
Thank you, Miss D.
What that got to do anything? I met Suge with Cat Williams.
Thank you.
I wasn't Diddy bodyguard. I didn't write a book about how I tried to save Big. You the same nigga that cried like a big baby you are when I went to Revolt World. How many of y'all remember that? How many of y'all remember that? The nigga literally cried. A grown-ass man cried on the internet. And if I wasn't live on my phone, I would pull up the picture. Because I still got that screenshot of that ugly face. I still got the nigga Chuck with the remote world. I love that kid. His nigga was crying. I swear on my mother, this nigga was crying because I went to Revolt World. Yo, why you go over there? Then he made videos about me. Choke over there praying with Diddy. You just missed Diddy, nigga. You missed that nigga. And I wouldn't be surprised that he boomed you too.
Let's go, Miss D.
You telling me Kurt Burrows is gay, allegedly. Diddy is gay, allegedly. And you running around butt plug shopping for him? Or with him? You said you went to buy dildos and butt plugs with him. And you got so much anger and emotion towards Diddy to the point that you done got him locked up and you want to go to the courthouse? Nigga, you a scorned bitch.
All right, hold on. All right, so then he finds a Gene Deal video, man, and starts breaking down his point of what he's saying about Gene Deal. Check this one out.
Madam was this young lady who would go to clubs.
Do you hear him? The madam was the young lady who would go to clubs. He's playing one of Gene Deal's lives where he basically admits to being working for a madam.
The Harlem Madam was this young lady who would go to clubs and girls who was looking to make.
Diddy locked up for right now, y'all? What is Diddy locked up for right now, y'all? Using escorts, right? What is Diddy locked up for right now, right? Using escorts, right? Okay. Okay. And what did he say? I worked for the Harlem Madam, who a girl used to go around and recruit girls who wanted to make extra money by fucking. Right? He worked for them while he was working for parole. And this nigga got the nerve to be sitting in the goddamn courtroom talking shit about Diddy? Are y'all kidding me? Y'all kidding me? And this man got daughters. And he laughing. How is this man sending Diddy to jail, y'all? And he worked for a madam while he had a badge. Y'all gotta be kidding me, man.
What's up, Angel? He rewinded the clip so y'all can hear Gene Deal say it again.
The time that you took 2 girls to 57th Street for Mike Tyson. You want to know that story?
This Gene
back in the day, I used to work for the Harlem Madam. The Harlem Madam was this young lady who would go to clubs and girls who was looking to make extra money for being escorts, she would hire them.
So, just to my guy, who is that to ask me that question? Does this make him a civilian? Is he still a civilian that he's working for an escort service, a madam? Who is that to ask me that question, man?
Choke say he went and got the receipt
I can't
of
find
Gene
your name
Deal saying
right
this.
now, right? Let's keep going.
Back in the day, I used to work for the Harlem Madam. The Harlem Madam was this young lady who would go to clubs and girls who was looking to make extra money for being escorts, she would hire them to do work for them. You know what I mean? So this one particular time, I had actually, when KG from Naughty by Nature, brother had came home from college, and y'all know what college I'm talking about. I took a few girls to
jail. Not college, jail. I think his name is Pookie. Right? He came home from jail. He took a couple of women. KG and them live in New Jersey, my nigga. That's state-to-state trafficking. The girls in New York, the Madam of Harlem. He's taking girls across the water. Several. Hey, Tail. How the hell are you running up on Gene Tail?
Listen, he telling y'all what Gene Deal did. He was taking women across state lines. Says choke no joke for the madam. Listen close. Then he started calling out Tisa Tails.
Who of women? KG and them live in New Jersey, my nigga. That's state-to-state trafficking. The girls in New York, the Madam of Harlem. He's taking girls across the water. Several. Hey, Tisa Tails. How the hell are you running up on Gene like he's some hero when he's telling you he's a sex trafficker? To this other chick that be running around with Gene. How are you running around with this nigga when he was a sex trafficker? Whoop! Tisa Tails! How are you running around all up in Gene's face and talking bad about fucking Diddy, Tisa? And this nigga is really a sex trafficker. Whoop! You need to check yourself, boo. I'm tired of y'all with this phony shit out here. Talking about Diddy. This is sex trafficking. Talk about it, Tisa Tails. Talk about it.
Whoop! And he gonna play the clip again. This crazy, y'all. I never knew none of this.
Madam was this young lady.
Now we are officially up to speed, man. That's crazy. I ain't know none of this, man. Wow.
Who would go to clubs and girls who was looking to make extra money for being.
Right now, at this point where he's law official and he's moonlighting to working for. Right? Let's keep going.
Back in the day, I used to work for the Harlem Madam. The Harlem Madam was this young lady who would go to clubs and girls who was looking to make extra money for being escorts. She would hire them to do work for them. You know what I mean? So this one particular time, I had actually when KG from Naughty by Nature brother had came home from college, and y'all know what college I'm talking about. I took a few girls to his party.
You see how much of a rat this nigga is? He didn't even have to say who party it was. Now you just implicated these niggas. This nigga, yo, he just talked too much, bro. This is what Unique was talking about. Why are you running your mouth about this, right? And of course they gonna know he came from jail. You talking about, oh, he came from college. Y'all know what college I'm talking about. Just like, yo, bro, all you just had to say was just college. Like, you think you talking in code to the feds, you fucking nigga? Like, they don't know what two chickens is?
This is
or
crazy.
Two birds is?
Make extra money for being escorts. She would hire them to do work for them. You know what I mean? So this one particular time, I had actually when KG from Naughty by Nature brother had came home from college, and y'all know what college I'm talking about. I took a few girls to his party. You understand? So the same woman that I worked for, she had to take, two girls had to go to Mike Tyson on 57th Street. Mike Tyson had a condominium down, I think it was 57th Street. And I took the two girls down there. This was a long time. This was in the 90s, early part of the mid 90s or something like that. But Mike Tyson was the man. So
this crazy, y'all.
And he's still that bad boy. And he's still that bad boy in the mid 90s. Keep that in mind.
This crazy, y'all.
I wanted them to, you know, I had this Tyson shirt in my truck and I wanted them to sign it, but I was like, yo, that should be professional. And nothing like that.
This crazy.
Upgrade to Google Fiber and pay one simple bill.
Yeah, so that was all I was able to get that live right there, man. You know, I actually took it and put it in 3 parts, but man, that's crazy, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Choke No Joke was live doing this today, you know, and I basically recorded it because man, that was brand new info to me. I never heard none of that. You know what I'm saying? That was my first time hearing any of the allegations that Choke had to say, man. You know what I'm saying? I watch Gene Deal tell his stories all the time. Never knew that he was, you know, anywhere close to any of this that I just heard today, man. And for some of y'all, it might be y'all first time too. Well, man, all I can tell y'all is this dude has been very vocal for a while now, you know, basically voicing his opinion about Gene Deal being in traffic with women and being just as bad as Diddy. I said, wow. I think on another one of my shorts, the dude that Gene Deal allegedly knocked out today, man, it's a lot going on in this Diddy trial, man. Lord have mercy, y'all. Well, y'all know, man, you know what I'm saying? We most definitely been in here about 4 hours, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I brought y'all the testimony from Mia, whatever her name is. I brought y'all the testimony, the finished testimony of the stylist, and I most definitely brought y'all Choke No Joke. You know, basically going at Gene Deal about talking about Diddy, and Choke No Joke claims that Gene Deal is just as bad, y'all. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy. Diddy is the fall guy, okay? Is looking and then about the cocaine or the narcotics or whatever, you know, that basically Choke No Joke says that Gene Deal came into encountering with Diddy, basically trying to extort him out of money. And since he couldn't get the money, you know, for the narcotics or whatever that was supplied, then he flipped on him and started snitching on him on the internet. That's what Choke said. That's what I gathered from all of this. So it's a lot of pieces that's going here, there, and everywhere when it comes to this Diddy stuff, man. What part is true? Hey, I don't know. You know, I can't put no jacket on nobody. I just presented what I seen presented to me. I presented it to y'all. Hey, man, whatever you think, you know, whatever. You know, I listen to a lot of what Gene say. I play his videos over here, and we'll continue whenever it's something interesting that I come by that he speaks on, then we gonna speak it, you know. And if Choke decides to put out more receipts with this and that, or if Gene responds to Choke, then I most definitely play that too, though. But man, it is 5 o'clock in the morning over here, man. I enjoy each and every one of y'all. Shout out to anybody that sent a super chat or a super sticker. I most definitely appreciate all of y'all, man. You know, but I try to be as fair as I can. But hey, man, I'm tired. I gotta go, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We definitely not out of content. You never know. I might pop up tomorrow a little bit earlier. Then I popped out tonight. Tonight I was late, so we wound up staying a little bit longer than we usually do. But it's all good, man. I'm only human. You know what I'm saying? I make it on time when I can, and I might be late sometimes. Shit, I might not even press the button sometimes. I'm just a human being. I can't help it. But you know, as long as I'm in the mood, we most definitely gonna be in the building, man. I'm not scheduled to be live tomorrow. Y'all know that. You know, you probably won't see me I'm gonna take the whole day off tomorrow, so it'll be Saturday night, 12 a.m. Central Standard Time, probably before you see me. But I might go live in the daytime tomorrow, you know, with a little bit more information if I find some stuff that catches my interest. But I most definitely see y'all Saturday night, 12 a.m., which is probably like Sunday, or tomorrow sometime. Man, I don't know. I just know right now I'm finna get up off of here, man. Shout out to the Sidewalk Gang. Shout out to my moderators. Shout out to all the subscribers, the members, the old members and the new ones, man. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I'm most definitely nothing without y'all. And with that being said, man, y'all already know how this go. It's time for me to make my grand exit. Y'all be safe out there, most definitely in the YouTube streets as well as the real world, man. You never know what's gonna happen. And with that being said, Sidewalk Gang, checking out. 9 times out of 10, I catch y'all tomorrow, though, man. Peace out. You know what I'm saying? I'm gone.